So that's where we've arrived at with the art of the deal. Basically, it's a cycle. It's a cycle of demands and threats. Sabotage the world economy and will cost the American taxpayers, who knows, maybe trillions. And as that realization sinks into a population weary of your malignant narcissism and impulsivity, Trump hits them with step 10. Cuba's going to be next. That's right, motherfucker, step 10. Keep moving to outrun the darkness.
Oh, and also Oman. Who's the other country we've
Oman
casually to?
Yeah.
Oh, unless they behave.
I have Trump saying that. If you want to hear that.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Chris.
It's the only.
So much do I want that.
Going to control its international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
So this is Operation Austin Powers now? Is that
Operation Blow Up our
behave,
allies.
baby, behave. Is that where we're at?
Sure.
Or we'll blow them up.
Oh, they're a longtime ally of ours.
Yes.
Why are we threatening?
Your point is what? This is new, threatening to blow up allies.
I hate
casually.
everybody.
I hate everyone too. I think I'll go on vacation, but
Okay.
I'll be here tomorrow and then see ya.
And I'm not going to see you for 2 weeks.
I know.
Holy crap.
You're welcome.
Yes.
And Bella didn't have to see me for 2 weeks.
Right.
She'll be back. Wait. Yes, next week when
She'll
I'm
be back
gone.
on Monday.
Yeah, like that was an accident.
And Sean's counting the days.
TikTok, mother.
Thank you for agreeing to do this, Sean. We really couldn't do it without you.
Sure thing.
I know. We think Grateful Nation thanks you.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see the president appeared to in his pants yesterday? It's pretty much well documented. You saw a little backward, and then a woman behind him just kind of backed up.
Well,
Remember he was looking at the pillars? That's what he's doing. He was dropping a deuce. He needed time to drop the deuce before he went.
He thought it was going to be a fart.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be more.
You know what? In honor of our 250th birthday, might I have Yankee Doodle fart? Because, we can't really play that enough in our 250th birthday, can we? For the amount of times that he appears to lay cable in his pants live on camera. All right.
We call that a scout fart. It's a fart.
Nothing stealth about it.
It's a fart that comes out to make sure that there's water below instead of, underpants.
Okay. Did you just say underpants?
I did.
It's just fun. That's just funny. I don't know why. Okay. Okay, so the DOJ is investigating E. Jean Carroll at the behest of her rapist. By the way, Chris, I saw once again the headlines, meaning the reason we don't need to say, allegedly, judge says Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll. So that is why he is an adjudicated rapist. So this would not be, just a review, in case you've forgotten, 2 separate juries. So will they be investigated next? All the jurors will also be prosecuted?
Yep.
Yes, she won millions in damages in 2 separate cases against Trump. One that found him liable for the sexual assault in 2023, and one that found he defamed her the following year. Both decisions upheld on appeal. Although the president has appealed the sexual assault case yet again, this time to the Supreme Court, which has postponed its choice on whether to take up the case 12 separate times. So even his suck-uppy pack court. So they've begun a criminal investigation into whether she committed perjury when she claimed in a 2022 deposition that her lawsuit was not funded by outside backers. We can wait for Glenn Kirshner tomorrow, but I can tell you, I just deem myself a lawyer, and he has no case. So billionaire Reid Hoffman funded some of it. Carroll's legal team claims she had no association with Hoffman's nonprofit that helped pay the fees, and the judge allowed Trump's lawyers to question Carroll in another deposition. So this has already been covered. It's just yet another vindictive prosecution. Okay.
Along with the seashells thing.
By the seashore.
Yeah.
Yes, the seashell case is starting soon.
Yep.
So, yes, that's where we're at. Okay, how about that there cabinet meeting? Hey, did we break the record? Because I know the previous reporting was 1 out of every 6 sentences was sucking up to Trump. That we must have really upped the average yesterday, didn't we? It was really some
it was
grade A bull wasn't it?
It was a Krispy Kreme factory with all the glazing.
Oh, God, so much glazing. I don't even get that much glazing on Blue Sky. And, when I have
You definitely
Aura,
don't get it from this room.
I have Aura and Riz. Well, that's why I needed a Blue Sky, because I get nothing here.
That's why you keep Michael from Blue Sky around.
Yes.
Okay.
And now other people are joining in, by the way.
What?
I believe on Blue Sky.
No.
Yeah, hold
Really?
on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here it is. Thank you, Rob. Yeah. Rob in North Carolina, our dearest sweet Stephanie, I may not have the wordsmithing skills of Michael to sing your praises in a Blue Sky love letter.
Oh.
But this fan from North Carolina can say with absolute conviction, Mama, you deserve to be glazed like a Krispy Kreme donut. And then he helpfully included some pictures of Krispy Kreme donuts. Thank you for the glazing. Mama appreciates it. Okay, so yes, his second term cabinet meetings, they somehow... They did the Times reviewed more than a dozen hours of footage, and found that it was sucking up to Trump was, what did I say? 1 out of every 6 sentences. That seems low. I think we got that average way up yesterday. This was a whole. What do we call that? Boo-y? I think that's what it's called. It was just a whole circle of jerk. Okay. It's a circle of jerks. That's what I meant, Sean. There's no need to. Yeah,
Well,
you don't have to dump it.
The first word you said, and the jerks, they're
Right.
very different.
Right. Well, that's why I put distance between me saying circle and then later in the same sentence I said jerk.
But the boo, that's
Right.
different than...
Right. That's why I
Okay.
bleeped it. Because I... Bob Seska's the only one that gets to say that here, but that was on the happy hour before when we had the drinks and the swears.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We had to explain to you what that was.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. It was like, I ever leave my house. How would I know? Like, what now? Because it's a good thing you told me. I might have inadvertently walked into one of those. I'd be like, what's happening here? Is this a knitting circle? Oh. So this is previously Defense Secretary Pete has repeated 3 times in one meeting that global conflicts would never have happened under Trump. Yeah, he's obviously Mr. No More Wars. Like,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday's just a couple more. I mean, oh my God. Howard Nutlick, the well-named Howard Nutlick, for that circle of, jerks.
Right. Oh, well.
He reportedly claimed on 5 separate occasions that Trump had achieved what others have believed impossible. And Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Snagglepuss, said Trump saved this country by making it the best place in the world to do business again. Okay. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Okay, so yesterday, let's go to
Glaze Fest?
today's
Glaze Fest
yesterday's
26?
circle of what?
Glaze Fest 26.
Isn't it kind of perfect because they're all jerks? It is a circle of jerks.
And when you do the boo thing, you do get some glaze.
Yeah. He gets. I mean, it's all glazing, really.
Serious.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear some of this great egg. There we go.
Thank you for your leadership, sir, and for making it possible. I often find in the fraud task force that there sometimes are barriers that we need to break down, agencies that need to coordinate, and I'll come to the president and say, Mr. President, I need your permission to do, he'll say, for what? For the fraud task force, and he'll cut me off and say, yes, go do it.
Okay. Tough things like start more unnecessary wars or, yeah.
Or denigrate an entire Somali community.
Oh, by the way,
That's what he was talking
yeah.
about.
Yeah, because fraud.
Right.
Yeah, and then Trump did his usual racist screed on all Somalis or fraudsters and
Exactly.
blah blah blah. Okay, where was I about the? Oh, he said out loud, "I don't care about the midterms." So
Oh, yeah, he did. I did
every
that for you.
Republican sphincter just snapped shut as his went wide open. Obviously, I mean, I guess that was polite to do it outside, like your dog, before you go inside into the White House. It's not like, I mean, and by the way, that his fans already, on the Capitol, so. Okay, this would be our Interior Secretary talking about how very, very low gas prices are.
It's been really incredible, and of course, you mentioned Venezuela, but all that flowing to our Gulf Coast refineries is also helping to keep the price of gas down at home. So again, it's an amazing transformation.
Yes, a lot of cash has transitioned out of my wallet to the gas station. But okay, and now here he comes. Heavens to Murgatroyd. It's Scott Bethend. Hi, I'm delighted to be here, Maria.
The stock market has hit new highs. The stock market lives in the future. It is seeing on the other side of this conflict. It is a strong symbol of optimism
Is
for
it?
the future. Corporate earnings are high, and wages are doing well.
Yeah, hardly anyone's in the stock market. he's a billionaire, right? With a B, that guy.
Isn't he a poor soybean farmer? Is that the guy?
Right. Yes, that's how he made his
Okay.
fortune. He's just a poor soybean farmer that happened to just accidentally make billions of dollars. Yeah. Don't you love being told by a billionaire that everything's good? Everything's fantastic. Don't be such whiners. Okay. Well, that was just a little bit of the glazing. Yeah, thank you. The Oman thing. Mark Jacobs said Trump is threatening to bomb friendly countries now. This is madness on a global scale,
they're an
courtesy
ally.
of the Republican Party.
Right.
And Cuba, just as a twofer. Do we get 2-for-1 deals now on starting unnecessary wars, unprovoked attacks against other? Okay. More importantly, you know how this is only so much we can take, so we get.
Sidetracked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yesterday we were speculating which animal would do the MRI on the Flintstones. 'Cause
Yes.
I was saying because Fred Flintstone had daytime sleepiness.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said it was a saber-toothed tiger that would do the MRI.
James says, to answer your question about Fred Flintstone's MRI animal, I think Chris was right when he said saber-toothed tiger. It would, after all, be a CAT scan.
Oh, really?
James presumably will see himself out of blue sky forever.
You know what? Actually, that was actually kind of good.
That's good.
I have
That
to,
was good.
I have to give
That was
him
good.
props.
Yeah, and that was like a little homemade listener comedy.
Yeah.
That was nice. Okay. Also, have you seen the pictures of the monstrosity, the latest monstrosity on the White House lawn, the whatever that is, UFC thing? Diesel says they've started building the arena in front of the White House. It looks like Six Flags over Pedo Land. Can someone tell me how did we get to the idiocracy
Six
already?
Flags over what?
I don't know. We are recalculating our route out of the idiocracy. Pedo Land.
Oh, Pedoland.
Pedoland,
oh, okay.
right.
I thought you said Pedoland.
Sorry.
And I'm like, what?
I don't think I know any, so I don't know the correct pronunciation to abbreviate pedophiles.
I mean,
Six Flags over Pedoland.
There you go. Thank you. I thought you said Pedoland. And I think
No, that's
the animal
different.
activists.
No,
would
that's
be-
different.
Okay.
Wow, do we have a jam-packed big old show for you today? We have Carl Frisch, Dr. Irwin Redlener, Malcolm Nance, and all of our 3 JoJo from Jers.
Yep.
I mean, we're not slacking before my vacation. No, we're not. By the way, be sure to tune in next week when Jody will be here and Bella will be back.
Yeah, got some great guests lined up for her next
Yes.
week too.
Yeah. Always A-team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 18, and I'm part of the subset of people that enjoy her more than me. So there you go.
Are you gonna be listening?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will be in North Carolina at my Major Taylor International Cycling Conference with my sisters. So there you go.
You'll be eating some coleslaw.
Or something.
Something
Durham.
southern.
How much do we love Durham, Sexy Liberal?
Durham Sexy Liberal
It
was
was
amazing.
fantastic.
I love.
There's that.
downtown Durham is so
Oh, I
cool.
know. With the giant bull with the
Yeah.
most giant balls I've ever seen. I took some video of it. Go check out my Instagram.
The Carolina Theater was wonderful. Everybody there was great. It was Durham, North Carolina's wonderful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, 19 minutes after the hour. Good morning.
Good to see you, my friend. That was really good comments by John Ossoff. I love the accompaniment. I wish I could have that as well. That's remarkable.
Yes, and just everything we say, just preach. Yeah.
He was in church, so
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Speaking of church, Pastor James Tallarico liking his chances in Texas after the noted crook Ken Paxton won yesterday. What do you think?
Look, I think he has a viable chance, more so than any Democrat in the last few cycles. I mean, we were all excited about Beto O'Rourke, but the polling didn't show. The best it showed him was like within 5 or something.
Right.
There are polls showing Tallarico tied or leading.
Yeah.
So we're in it. This is a fight. But I will say this. The idea that Ken Paxton has all these negatives, like he was indicted and cheated on his wife and pled almost guilty to charges, did community service, was impeached. It makes the Republicans love him more. They're going to come out big. That's their brand.
Oh, also he protected a child rapist, so completely on GOP brand.
Bingo. You got that. I didn't think that was a bonus. That brings another person off their couch who's a Republican. Like, oh, he protected rapists. I got to get involved because this is what I want. Because he reminds me of the Trump of Texas, and that's what he is. He's a protector of white supremacy. He's anti-abortion. He's a Christian supremacist. He's anti any regulations on guns. This is a guy who, that's what they love. They don't care. Jesus forgives all the other stuff.
Yeah.
As long as you, in his name, do horrible things. Unbelievable.
So we were just saying the economists predicting a Democrats win the Senate. Obviously, we got other good news yesterday. Panel of federal judges rejected Alabama's effort to use the new voting map in November, saying it discriminated against black people and could not be used so shortly before a vote. The ruling further confuses the electoral landscape across the South, as Republican-led legislatures have raced to implement new district lines after the Supreme Court ruling. South Carolina, though, good news for us, right? Republican-led South Carolina Senate voted against a measure to advance a new congressional map, ending that last-minute redistricting effort. So where do we stand, do you think, in general on redistricting?
Oh, we're going to win
Wash?
big.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's like, you ever see the Poseidon Adventure from the 70s with the big blue wave?
Yeah.
Or the perfect storm? It's the perfect storm. It's the Poseidon Adventure.
Oh,
It's gonna
Shelley
be-
Winters is going down again. Oh.
It's not good, but you're going to have Gene Hackman lead us to the propeller chamber, and like 2 of us are going to get out.
Yep.
That's the downside if you take it to its full extent.
I mean-
in reality, look, we're 5 months from the election. Things right now, the trajectory doesn't change. Democrats should win big. I mean, in 2018, Trump's approval rating going into that midterm was 44%. He lost 40 seats. Right now, he's like 37, 38%. And people are angry. Strongly disapprove is at about 50%. Strongly approve of Trump is 20%. And that's the real enthusiasm gap going into the midterm.
And
That's
the more recent polls, Dean, have him closer to 30%, like 31, 32, 33, and more like 60% disapproval. So
in my apartment,
yeah.
he's at 10%. So I mean, like, it
Yeah.
depends where you're. So right now, he's not doing well in my
But
apartment.
this is like finding a unicorn. South Carolina Republican State Senator Richard Cash said, "Neither my conscience nor my common sense will allow me to stop an election that is already underway." I mean, you would think that would be the norm, but I guess we'll take the wins where we can get them, right? In South Carolina
Well, that's a
and
good one.
Alabama.
And I also think that, first of all, in 2028, they're probably going to go back in the normal course of business and do that. But second, they knew if you get rid of James Clyburn, an icon in the Democratic Party, you eliminate his seat, the backlash, I think, would be so deafening to be blunt.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to create a neo-Confederacy in the South. We're seeing that play out. But South Carolina is going to wait for 2 years. And Alabama, look, we'll see what the Supreme Court does. I'm concerned the Supreme Court is just a tool of the Republican Party. So they ruled for them with no shame, no decency. They ruled against us in Virginia. They have no problem ruling for Republicans in Alabama. But we'll see. Maybe they'll do the right thing in this one case because it's one seat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I keep saying that, Dean. They seem to not do anything because it's the right thing. It's because they see that it's going to hurt them politically because we're so close to the midterm. So, just a shock to no one, Iran vows retaliation after latest bombing by Trump. Peace deal negotiations. Who knew that bombing them would,
destroy peace deal?
Yeah, that's weird. Right. Between the Trump administration and Iran are on shaky ground after the Supreme Leader warned U.S. bases in the Middle East are no longer safe. The Ayatollah delivered his warning in a message to mark the beginning of the Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca, a day after the U.S. military launched defensive strikes. That was on the military we've already destroyed, if you're keeping track.
Stephanie Miller.
Yeah, it is the Stephanie Miller Show. Karen in Chicago, good morning, Boo Boo Foo.
Hey, good morning, Smoothie Bear.
Hello.
It is so frustrating to me. Remember when President Biden got our economy back, where all of the economists were saying it was not only a soft landing, it was a miracle. And then the media took that up, and then they said, but why aren't people feeling it?
Hey.
Why are they not now saying, Donald Trump, his cabinet, and all of the Republicans keep saying prices are coming down?
Yeah.
But why aren't people feeling it?
Yeah.
They have completely abdicated their duty to act as a check on power and to be the truth tellers.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely ridiculous that, anybody is tuning in to this group of people.
And
we
plus,
have to be talking about this at every step.
Plus, so now they've at least started, reporting on his obviously, medical whatever is happening. And have you seen the stupid White House response? They tweeted all these pictures of news anchors with their eyes closed, and they're obviously blinking or looking down at their notes. And so, it's just their usual 8th grade. Yeah. Oh, who's sleepy now? You're sleepy. You're sleepy, Dana Bash. It's like, oh my God. And then all the maggot accounts have picked it up and, started doing. And, it's just so stupid, right?
It's ridiculous. And, yeah, absolutely. And this thing, I was listening to Richard Chu this morning. And he had a lady on, and she was talking about the E. Jean Carroll, basically the revenge or retribution, right? So she pointed out he has not been successful in one attempt at retribution against people. Right. And what we need to remember too, this is going to get thrown out as well. We have to compartmentalize this stuff. I mean, we need to know about it, but definitely let's temper it and just. Remember, just breathe. Where can we put this? We'll put this in the basket of things that we should be paying attention to, but let's not spend our time and energy on it.
We know it's going to get thrown out because of history. We know it's going to get thrown out, but she still has to spend the money to defend herself.
Yeah, and she's not, and she still isn't been paid the money that she's owed because that's what Trump always does.
So
he never pays anyone.
That's the thing I'm concerned about is how much this is costing everybody.
Yeah, and again, people know she'll never see a dime of what she's owed because the law doesn't seem to apply to him, and he does it delay forever, right? So by the by, have you seen this? Adam says Americans are hurting to afford groceries and gas while Donald Trump and his goons are focused on a ballroom, a UFC fight, and sending the DOJ after a woman he raped. And this, it's something new. Breaking news: Trump administration officials have passed a Bureau of Engraving and Printing to design a $250 bill featuring the president's portrait in what would be the first appearance of a living person on U.S. currency in more than 150 years. Oh my God! And meanwhile, this Iran debacle. I thought I'm watching that cabinet meeting, Chris, and but I'm listening to other, experts. Kagan, what's his name? Robert Kagan said somehow the media managed to miss that we lost. Speaking to Karen's point about the media, somehow the media managed to miss that we lost this war back in March, and Trump has been trying to delay that reality. Iran has not made a single concession. They're just shaking Trump down for money. Wow, how's it feel? Yeah. Turnabout, right? Aaron Rupar says Trump has no way out on Iran. To sum up, if Trump escalates, people are going to hate him. If he surrenders, people are going to hate him. If he dithers, people are going to hate him. He has no good options, which is why he's spinning in place, hoping anyone will rescue him. It's the same, as we say every day, Chris, same cycle of stupid threats and bullying.
Absolutely.
And also confirmation that he's telling the Pentagon to lie. Basically, about, just only mention the good news. There is no good news about Iran. We will talk to Carl Frisch next.
Just 969 days left to go in our countdown to liberty. We're, of course, at the Bruce Springsteen concert because he doesn't give a shit about Donnie, but neither does Mary, his niece. Mary, what do you have to say? 969 days left.
That is 969 days too long, but this is what I have to say to you guys. We will not let these people steal our joy. We are going to revel in things like a Bruce Springsteen concert. We're going to revel in friendship and community and art and all of it, and we are going to prevail. That's what I have to say.
That's pretty damn good. You know what I have to say? Today, Donald Trump decided that he wants those NDAs because he doesn't want people who work for the government to be responsible for the people they work for. And Don, screw you. We're still going to get the information we need because that's what we do. See you next time.
Peace out, America.
Immigration is one of the most controversial and morally complex subjects in both America and modern Christianity, one that demands both nuance and thoughtful, studious discourse. Historically, the Christian right hasn't been interested in that, but they're divine at reducing things to catchy xenophobic catchphrases. Build the wall. Send them home. Go back where you came from. Deport them all. Keep America American. Stop the invasion. Jobs for Americans, not illegals. No amnesty. The God of the Bible consistently takes an unambiguously compassionate stance towards immigrants and strangers. Jesus commands individuals and nations to welcome the stranger and warns they'll be judged by how well they do it.
Well, turning 65 should be a milestone, right? Not a maze. But for most people, that's exactly what Medicare feels like. Robocalls, mailers, fine print nobody can decode. With this much confusion, it's no wonder that millions of Americans have found themselves with coverage that misses the mark. That is where Chapter comes in, the only Medicare advisor that compares every Medicare plan nationwide. Their advisors are independent and honest. They actually advocate for you. They look at your doctors, your prescriptions, your life. And if you're already on the best plan, they'll tell you straight out. Just last year, seniors who found new plans with Chapter saved an average of $1,100 on healthcare costs. One free call, under 20 minutes. Call 804-CHAPTER. That's 804-CHAPTER, 804-CHAPTER today.
I want us to just think together how much we hate the mother. Yeah, we hate him. And it's a refreshing but genuine visceral hatred we have. And we want him to know that. And the last thing that we should want, and the last thing I want anybody to die. Okay, that's no. I don't want him just to be alive this November. I want him to be cognizant because I want him to know how much the American people hate his guts.
All right.
I love me some spicy James Carville. That is a spicy Cajun Carville.
Yep.
I love it. Normally, I don't like spicy food.
Carl.
Carl Frisch, let's talk to our fancy Fairfax County School Board friend, shall we? CarlFrisch.com. Pardon me, it's a lot. Hi, good morning, Carl Frisch. Are you drinking Kofifi?
Very spicy jambalaya.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom. Carl, where would you like to start? It's a lot going on in politics.
I'd say let's start at the very beginning, but I really don't want to start there.
Okay. Are we in a Broadway musical?
Trying.
Okay. I love this. The Republican Party has deleted their ad attacking Ken Paxton's record on crime. Homicides are the highest in nearly 30 years under Ken Paxton. Paxton is now the GOP's nominee to represent Texas. And dear God, not to mention how many Republicans are on tape talking about what a crook he is, right?
Not only are they on tape, not only is his divorce trial, including claims of adultery, going to trial in June, which is just days away. Not only that, but polling is very promising in Texas right now, in a lot of unexpected ways.
I was just going to show you the one I'm seeing, Tallarico 42, Paxton 34 is the one I just saw this morning.
I think there's also one that pushes undecideds, and it puts Tallarico at 52.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, and this,
change.
I'm not sure which one. Another new poll, Tallarico 45, Paxton 38. So you're right, it is. But here's what I get concerned about. Is,
and by the way, Beto never led when he was running against
Beto never led. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So Emma says Texas Democrats better be prepared for Abbott to welcome Trump and Stephen Miller's deployment of ICE Gestapo to polling stations to intimidate Latino Texans in November. They've already test run this task, and they will have a fervent voter suppression ally in the governor. That is a concern, isn't it?
Well, it's not just ICE. Remember, the administration has these 287G agreements with local law enforcement. And I think there's justifiable concern that local law enforcement would be enlisted by ICE for this purpose as well.
Yeah. So this is, we keep talking about, your family and my family's former Republican Party. Thom Wiener said, John Cornyn sums up the whole Republican Party and wraps up his own lackluster career with this stirring message. My opponent is a cheater, a fraud, and a horrible person, and I will fully support him in November. I mean, that is what is left of the soul of the Republican Party, right?
I mean, Trump primed Texas Republicans for Paxton. So, they get what they asked for. And, it's not like it was even close. This is exactly what Texas Republicans are asking for. They'll have nobody to blame but themselves.
Yeah, I was, by the way, Holly said, Dear Texas evangelicals, if you think Ken Paxton's a better Christian than James Tallarico, you have grievously misunderstood the gospel. I was saying to Chris yesterday, all these stupid attacks on Tallarico, like, they're going to have a really hard time othering him like they did to Kamala. He is a straight white pastor from Texas. He does eat barbecue. It's not that should matter. I think his new commercial is just him eating barbecue, and it says that, and then he goes, like it matters. Like, it's just, and this Tallarico, he's like selling T-shirts already. I mean, how do you make a straight white pastor into a freak?
They're going hard on calling him transgender.
I guess we're gonna find out.
Okay, but he's not.
I know he's not, but they're. I saw so many sound bites yesterday of Republicans calling him transgender.
Okay. Yeah.
First of all, A, not an insult. B, not true.
Right.
Right.
And C, the response has been pretty great from the Tallarico campaign. Particularly on the barbecue question, right? Like, I've been eating barbecue since before Paxton's first
debate.
Oh,
that was a great line. And this one, by the way, yesterday, James Tallarico.
Well, I think if Ken Paxton is worried about freaks, he should stop giving Epstein-style sweetheart deals to pedophiles. This is the guy who just released Adam Hoffman from jail, an admitted child rapist, after one of Ken Paxton's wealthy lawyer friends got involved in the case. Adam Hoffman was supposed to serve 25 years to life, but instead he served less than a month. As of this week, he's now back on our streets because of Ken Paxton's corruption.
I am full on the party of protecting pedophiles. I mean, I gotta say, you know me, I'm a huge Jasmine Crockett fan, but this young guy is a smart politician. I'm like all in for
him. And
he's
extremely smart, and he knows his opponent backwards and forwards, probably better than his opponent knows himself.
Yeah, I also love, someone posted, James Tallarico frames the general election, the people versus Ken Paxton, which I think is also a smart, I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
And he's doing this smart. He's not just staying in the big cities. And by the way, he's focused on the big cities in Texas because he needs to run up margins there. But he's also focused on the ground game in rural Texas, where chipping away at Republican margins will have an equally dramatic effect on the eventual outcome of the election.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons that you're seeing him leading in polling.
Oyster Guy, go Oyster Guy. Maine Senate poll shows Graham Plattner leading incumbent Susan Collins 51% to 42%. He's developing a bit of a blue oyster cult.
No.
1984 thought that was hysterical.
You know what? You just shut your pie hole. That's all I got.
Well, I will say that the LL Bean store up in Maine is
in
looking
Freeport,
pretty great right now.
Yeah.
And look, that was a very reliable poll as well. So very promising. But again, when we see numbers like this, we know what follows. What's going to happen is that Republicans will put out polls that they commission themselves to try and make their candidates look stronger, to entice money into the race. And then the special interest will spend tens of millions of dollars to try and chip away at the polling leads. We're already seeing that happening in Maine, where big financial interests are running independent expenditures, attacking Plattner.
This one I say for you from George Conway. I'm going to be blunt with you. He said, Trump is deliberately destabilizing elections, weakening our democracy, throwing the world into chaos. The GOP has massive funding lined up to keep control of the House. So Democrats remain powerless to stop Trump, but their grip is slipping. We just need 3 seats to put the House back in Democratic control, giving us the power to block Trump's authoritarian onslaught and hold him and his criminal administration accountable. I keep saying every day, Carl, I think we just need to be prepared for all of the above in terms of how they're going to...
100%.
Yeah.
And Conway's right. We just need 3 seats, but wouldn't a dozen or more be better?
Yes.
Yes.
Wouldn't a dozen or more be better? And
for my stomach, yes.
Wouldn't flipping the Senate be equally enjoyable? And that's all possible.
Right.
But it requires all of us in the months that we have left to do everything we can. Take a improv and the kitchen sink approach to this. Yes, anding our way all the way to victory in November.
Yeah.
And that means donating. It means knocking doors or making phone calls. If you've never knocked doors, your local Democrats will tell you how to do it, and you'll have a lot of fun doing it, talking to voters. Do everything we can to do that.
Yep. So let's talk about your home state of California. You are a California boy. New California governor's race poll: Becerra 23, Hilton 20, Tom Steyer 15. He says this pollster was not paid for by Tom Steyer. Someone, Arsenio, posted Tom Steyer in full spin mode. This new poll shows Becerra with a strong lead at he's at 23% in this poll. Steve Hilton at 20%. Tom Steyer at 15. I mean, I think someone updated that Tom Steyer has now spent $200 million to everyone else's $5 to $10 million. So here's what these jungle primaries, as we've talked about, are kind of ridiculous. But yeah,
yes.
But R. Mendez said jungle primaries reward unity. Turn your ballot in for Becerra today. I agree. She also said a divided vote helps the GOP. A united California wins with Becerra. And one last one. Mia said, can someone go back and collect all the I'll vote for the top bowling Democrat threads and remind them all that it is now Javier Becerra, so go vote for him. It is a little terrifying, but between that and the LA mayor's race, what's happening here in California. What's your take?
A couple things. One, it's time to get rid of the jungle primary.
My God.
I said that in 2012.
The initial goal was to make things more hospitable to, not attacking your opponents.
Well, it hasn't worked out that way. Let me tell you.
It certainly hasn't.
Right. And also, it's the egos, that the people that have no chance in the single digits, at the very least, should drop out.
I don't want to dissuade people from trying to get elected.
Exactly.
And the way you do that, if you really do want those benefits, look at ranked choice voting for the primaries in California. Let Democrats pick their candidates. Let Republicans pick their sacrificial lambs, and then go from there. But it doesn't serve anybody any good when they don't only have to compete for votes; they have to try and figure out how to massage their worldview into a way that their 25% will get them over the finish line.
Right.
In a Democratic primary, we're going to be talking about the vision broadly and not worried that 2 Republicans might squeak by with 15% of the vote each. So let's fix that for the next time we have to go through this.
Yeah.
Before the next time. And then the other thing I would say is that, a couple months ago we were worried that 2 Republicans would be in the top 2. Now it's looking like 1 or none.
Right, and also,
we can thank Swalwell for his.
Also, there's a reason that we're the 4th largest economy in the world, Carl, is that we have been under democratic policies. Again, they always say the states are the laboratories. Well, look at the red states. They're last in everything. California is at the top for near everything.
Now, we did have a dip but it was during those Schwarzenegger years.
Yeah.
And those,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when Arnold was governor, it was the only Republican governorship since the 90s.
Yes. Speaking of celebrities, by the way, the very important Samuel L. Jackson endorsement has come in from Mayor Karen Bass, and he would like these mother Republican reality stars out of his mother city, is his point.
Well, you know, I think Angelenos just want a mayor who's, you know, they want their candidates to commit to staying in the city they're trying to represent.
Yeah.
That's the starting point.
Yeah. I already voted as hard as I could for Mayor Bass. Really? Don't give me another. You're leaving if you lose? Oh, my God.
It's not like everything when you get elected mayor is going to be a cakewalk. Does
Right.
this mean that, you know, when you hit a challenge, you're going to
Right.
turn away and walk away from the challenge?
We just keep
So-
saying it's not an entry-level position, the mayor of a city of 4 million people. It's not an entry-level, position to be governor of the fourth largest economy in the world, So it's, you would hope that this whole Trump disaster has broken that fever, but, we shall see, right?
Well, and, you know, the latest polling has Bass ahead. So,
Yeah.
It
By
goes
quite a bit.
Well, it goes Bass, then Nethia, then Pratt, and they're all separated by 4 percentage points.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think one thing that will be exposed in the mayor's race in Los Angeles is how weak the local Republican Party is. It's one of the things that undercuts Republicans in California generally, is that they've spent the last 30 years nominating more and more extremists as their party shrinks, which makes them more and more unelectable. And I think that's going to have an impact in the mayor's race in Los Angeles as well.
Yeah. And Drew Carey just decimated Spencer Pratt online as well. So we're all doing our part.
And I don't even think Drew Carey is a reliable liberal. So
No, he's always been libertarian. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a pretty ridiculous idea, Spencer Pratt. But okay. Not to mention, he hit Angela V. Shelton, so that should disqualify him for anything. Carl Frisch, mooksforcarl.com remains the best way to fight for truth, justice, and
That
the
is
American
correct.
way.
Yes.
Correct?
That's right. Absolutely.
All right.
All the help is greatly appreciated, and I hope you have a great vacation.
Thanks, honey bun. See ya.
right.
There he goes. Carl Frisch. 48 minutes after the hour. You posted on January 6th, America discovered a giant tumor. It's a tumor. There's a guy.
It's a tumor.
On its heart, a few smart, courageous surgeons wanted to extract the tumor, while a slim majority of fearful doctors wanted to try alternative medicine. The cancer spread. We may not recover.
Yep.
That's the big question of our time, isn't it? Is do we recover? How long will it take us to recover? We were just reading a piece, from CNN, Carlos. It'll take 6 years for gas prices to come down, probably.
Yeah, it'll take 2 years to take all the statues back down again.
Right.
It's irreparable damage, and again, I always go back to people wanting to do the firing squad and attack Merrick Garland. Again, on that day that they decided whether or not they were going to impeach and convict, we had enough Democrats. We just needed, I believe, 3 more Republicans to do the right thing. He got away with it, and he goes, "Oh, if I can get away with this."
Right, I can get away with
We're
anything.
golden.
Yeah, and so, by the way, Dean also pointed out, and my dad was a Nuremberg prosecutor, so I always love, talking about these obvious parallels. He said Trump wants to celebrate and now pay his January 6th terrorists who attacked the Capitol to help him. It's exactly what Hitler did when he became Chancellor of Germany for those who waged his attempted coup in 1923. I mean, if we just read a history book, Carlos, right?
Yeah, read and comprehended it. Again, we've never compared it to Final Solution, but what they're doing with sanctuary cities, spraying governors in the face with mace, not allowing you to inspect detention centers, they're kind of not the final solution. They're in the home stretch.
Well, I said
solution.
they didn't start with the gas chambers. People died of medical no medical attention, of malnutrition. But he said Dean writes about he's read a great deal about the history of fascist leaders, spoken to many experts. He said the history telling us that Trump would not reject the J6 terrorists, but instead embrace, celebrate, and honor those who helped him wage his failed coup. It's exactly what Hitler did. The beer hall putsch. Have you ever heard of it? In 1923, the failed coup. Hitler's plot led to a clash with the Munich police that left 14 Nazis and 4 police officers dead, scores of both injured. Hitler was arrested, served less than 1 year year in prison where he wrote Mein Kampf, plotted his return to power. After Hitler's release from jail, he saw the benefit of celebrating the so-called quote-unquote martyrs of the coup as a way to rally supporters. Hitler even utilized a flag from the attack that has been that was stained with the blood of his supporters, known as the blood flag, a powerful piece of propaganda at Nazi events. I mean, as people keep saying, this isn't even to pay them for what they did. It's for what he wants them to do if things don't go their way in the midterms, perhaps.
Yeah, letting militia people know that, hey, if you support me, you'll get paid. Just like ICE will get paid. I will pay. He's the definition of a really gross frat boy leader that has no real friends in life. But like, mom and dad gave me tons of money to buy friends and do what I want them to do for me.
Yeah.
Because it's total frat boy manipulation. It's so obvious.
Well, he just finishes saying there's little originality when it comes to fascist tactics and propaganda. We just saw a United States senator get pepper sprayed and them not let a governor of her own state into a detention center. So he said that's why what Trump has been doing to rewrite his January 6th attack as an act of patriotism was foretold to us by Hitler. It's a glaring reminder that to save our republic, we must politically destroy the GOP. There is no place in the United States for a party headed by a man following the playbook of Adolf Hitler. Period. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see what all these GOP sycophants say. It is pure propaganda.
Who's it? Like his new finance guy was just glaring about gas prices are wonderful and people enjoy paying that for the sacrifice of being American. It's like it is total canistar. And the Americans and Donald Trump seeking strikes.
Yeah, you do. You hear it, and then in the background, you're thinking, "Fatherland, fatherland." Like, really? It's patriotic to pay more for. Yeah, you're right. It's better in the original German.
White people will be able to drive their cars from state to state without the black and dark people.
So you also posted fires ring Southern California, and it's only May. What's going on, according to the Los Angeles Times? You said, but blame the mayor. Which party is against climate change, science, and renewable energy?
And which part against the Army Corps of Engineers, against everybody else? Which president released all that water post-Palisades fire?
Stephanie Miller.
Yeah, you got that funky beat. Let's do it, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Wow, what a big show. Dr. Doom coming up. Malcolm Nance coming up.
Whoa.
On a Thursday. And then JoJo from Jers in all of Hour 3.
That's right.
Dana Goldberg on the road. We're all a little cattywampus. It's, summer vacation time. Okay, so where was we on the this James Tallarico thing? So this is the, give me 8, the RNC chair.
Joe Gruters.
This is so pathetic.
Tallarico is a creep, and he thinks he's a vegan. He thinks God is non-binary. He wants to mutilate children. He wants to put boys in girls' locker rooms. People are done with that.
Okay, so everyone is clutching the pearls again. The DNC's tweet about it was the DNC, about Stephen Miller.
Yeah.
Chris, I just keep saying, I saw a lot of people online saying, you know what? This is the kind of energy Democrats need right now. It's just, I'm sorry. I would like the bar to be raised too. I would like to go back to when they go low, we go high. But we aren't in those
Lower
times.
the bar until we win, and then we can raise the bar.
And the problem is, these comments. So what do you call it? When Paxton won, the DNC tweeted, Tallarico and said,
a photo of Tallarico,
right, fired up, ready to go. It's time to take back Texas. So Stephen Miller quote tweeted the Post and said the Democrats made history in Texas by nominating their first transgender Senate candidate, and so the DNC just shot back, "Shut up, you ugly."
F word.
Yes. Which, first of all, which is, no lie detected. But second, I get it. It's not necessarily the response I would have, be my first response. But it's unfortunately
nobody should apologize.
Look at who's in the Oval Office. Look what he tweets or posts every single day. Right. And it's just, Chris, you and I have said it over and over. So we talk about alpha liberals. We just got to learn how to fight the way they fight. Until we can take back this democracy. I was thinking about, if we get a decent, let's just start with a decent human again in the Oval Office. They're not going to talk the way Trump talks. Right. And hopefully lower the discourse in this country like that.
Right. But their side never apologizes for insulting us. We should never apologize for insulting them at this point.
I don't even want to. Let's just, I'm afraid to say, because I'm always afraid I'm going to swear, but what he said about my dear friend Rob Reiner. Take anything. Bob Mueller, Nancy Pelosi's husband. There are a million instances of horrific things that the head of their party has said. So, please, here's his wife.
Katie Miller?
Yes. Who, by the way, kind of knows. That's true. But
she's not a looker either.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the same violent political rhetoric that is leading people to shooting up, whether it be the White House Correspondents' Dinner or President Trump and Butler. But what it remains to be seen is this is an anonymous account, and it is run actually by a sad liberal woman named Paulina, which is why Pew says 50% of liberal women at some time have identified that they have a mental health disorder, and she is certainly one of them.
All right. Does anyone want to speculate on the mental health disorder that would allow you to marry, for instance, Stephen Miller? Dear Jesus.
He's a human dildo. He looks like a human dildo.
Oh my God. Please, with the Pee Wee German, it is, okay. I'm going to say some things that include swears and some other inappropriate things. But thank you for the clutching of your particular pearls. Okay. Who, by the way, has said any number of awful things about Democrats. 58 minutes after the hour, Dr. Doom next.
Just 969 days left to go in our countdown to liberty. We're, of course, at the Bruce Springsteen concert because he doesn't give a shit about Donnie, but neither does Mary, his niece. Mary, what do you have to say? 969 days left.
That is 969 days too long, but this is what I have to say to you guys. We will not let these people steal our joy. We are going to revel in things like a Bruce Springsteen concert. We're going to revel in friendship and community and art and all of it, and we are going to revel. That's what I have to say.
That's pretty damn good. You know what I have to say? Today, Donald Trump decided that he wants those NDAs because he doesn't want people who work for the government to be responsible for the people they work for. And Don, screw you. We're still going to get the information we need because that's what we do. See you next time.
Peace out, America.
Welcome to Caffeinated, where we focus on the parts of a story that really matter by showing compassion to the opposing side. Take, if you will, Steve Bannon, the man who said, "Darkness is good." Darth Vader, Dick Cheney, Satan, that's power. Who published the op-ed, "Birth Control Makes Women Unattractive and Crazy," and many other op-eds for Breitbart, most of which read better in the original German. Who warned the media should keep their mouth shut, and that same media can't stop desperately trying to book him on all their shows. You guys, seriously, I'm a little worried about Steve Bannon. Not because he brazenly defied a congressional subpoena about his role in the terrorist attacks on our nation's capital of January 6, 2021, wagging his junk at it, citing executive privilege, even though he'd been fired by the White House back in January 2017 and was working at the time of said attack as a podcaster, and not because he's a white supremacist who published a lot of white supremacist articles and supported the border wall and the Muslim ban and lots of authoritarian dictators, and who actually did say that cities could be washed away in an orgy of de-gentrification. No, I'm worried about Steve Bannon because the man looks like an alcoholic Thom. Have you seen this guy? He looks like a sack of pus that developed rickets. He looks like gout that caught gout. The man does not look well. Yeah, that's Steve Bannon, the one who was arrested on a Chinese billionaire's yacht and indicted by a federal grand jury for wire fraud and money laundering because he was ripping off Trump supporters donating to his Build the Wall campaign, and then Trump pardoned him for ripping off his own MAGA faithful. That guy. Is he okay? I'm just worried because Steve Bannon looks like a guy who was up watching porn till 6:45 a.m. and his alarm was set for 7. He looks like the guy in the office that HR has to physically give a deodorant stick to after one too many coworker complaints. He looks like a diseased leprechaun freebasing in the Port Authority bus terminal men's room. But we need to put aside our petty differences and recognize that this is clearly a fellow human being who is in pain. Can we do that? Do we have the humanity to reach out with love to Steve Bannon? Because he looks like the guy in the zombie movie who doesn't want the other survivors to know he got bit in the last scene. He looks like an infected toe. He looks like that uncle who comes over and smells of cigarettes and cat piss and always wants you to sit on his lap, but you're 15. I'm just worried about the guy is all I'm saying. And yes, I know his wife alleges he physically abused her and wouldn't let their kids go to school with Jewish children. I know YouTube has taken down his videos because they glorify violence, and Facebook took down his videos for glorifying violence, and Twitter has banned him for glorifying violence. And I know he said that Mussolini was a guy's guy who had amazing fashion sense. He said that. But in fairness, lots of people who aren't fascists praise Mussolini's style. But I am asking you to look into your hearts and find some compassion. Because Steve Bannon looks like a guy whose parole officer makes him knock on every door and introduce himself whenever he moves to a new neighborhood. He looks like Pigpen the Hutt. Steve Bannon looks like a guy who was just forced to drive cross-country in a small car with no ventilation and the windows rolled up while sitting next to Steve Bannon. He's not a healthy man. We are just concerned because he looks like he just ate 20 pounds of cheese and it's coming out of his facial pores. And by the way, I know what you're thinking. What right do I have to make fun of Steve Bannon's appearance when I look like Joe Exotic's mullet donor? It's true, I still have my pandemic hair, but I know it. See, number one, I accept that I look like the love child of Beethoven and Loki. I look like John Wick during a nationwide Moroccan oil shortage. But number two, I'm just concerned about him. So while you cynically fixate on the fact that he called the Civil War the War of Southern Independence, or that he looks like physical proof that white supremacists are the greatest argument against the concept of white supremacy. And he said that conservative women are better than progressive women because, and I quote, they're not a bunch of dykes that came from the Seven Sisters School up in New England. You ask, how can Steve Bannon sleep at night? I say, in a puddle of his own sick. But that's mean. We gotta be the good guys and look after him and make sure he's okay. Because he looks like a police sketch artist rendition of mutated gonorrhea. And that's why we're starting Steve Pack. Your selfless donation, MAGA fans, of $100 or more will allow us to buy multiple shirts for Steve Bannon, all of which he can wear at the same time. Then, when he vomits Jägermeister up on the top shirt, he can simply remove it and continue his broadcast. So if you see Steve Bannon, put aside your differences and offer him your hand. But you know to wash it, like right away. Like wash that shit. And don't touch your face either, okay? Just offer your hand, but then soak the entire hand in bleach for half a day. Soak the whole arm in bleach for half a day. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. And remember, if Donald Trump pardons Steve Bannon for stealing from white nationalist Trump supporters, maybe we should thank Trump for setting Steve free to continue his fine patriotic work.
It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
On Monday, I had a little back and forth online with our nutjob Secretary of Health. I'm looking at my phone, and he mentions me. RFK Jr. posted something from a parody website that he believed proved his thesis that liberal comedy is on the decline because we make fun of him. So he attacked me. I responded by pointing out a dumb spelling error he made, and that exchange caught the eyes of the gang at the Fox Business Channel.
RFK Jr. triggering late-night host Jimmy Kimmel, writing, "This is the best explanation of how we've reached the nadir." Kimmel firing back, mocking Kennedy's spelling mistake with the response, quote, "It's nadir, N-A-D-I-R. Okay, dummy. Now get back to spreading polio." Oh, okay.
Uses polio as kind of the joke. Like, polio is not funny. There are a lot of, like, you know what? Chicken pox is kind of funny.
What about chlamydia? Is chlamydia funny? Chlamydia's funny, right? See, we can work together. Let's punch this up.
Here we go again. This show has become, as I say every week, asking the smartest people in the world about the dumbest imaginable. Here we go.
If I'm going to get bad news, I want it from him because he's very handsome. Dr. Irwin Redletter joins us now. MSNBC medical expert. Dr. Irwin Redletter.
Here he became Dr. Doom.
Dr. Irwin Redletter is the founding director of the National Center for Disaster Preparedness and senior research scholar.
Dr. Doom.
Even when you just hear your resume in your jingle, Doc, do you really think, like, so I have to now ask you about the Director of Health and Human Services chasing 2 snakes, which you had to post about. You said video just released showing Bobby Kennedy in a tie and dress shirt on Dr. Oz's patio picking up writhing, biting snakes, with wife Cheryl imploring him to put them down, and Oz noting that the snakes are having sex. All of that study, is this what it's come to, Doc, for you?
This is a degeneration of everything I've ever thought about or worked for. But then I was thinking too, and maybe it's not fair because if you're peddling snake oil,
yeah, there you go.
Well,
yeah, there's the ad.
Snakes. And I actually think he was milking the snakes for snake oil.
Yes.
To put on his new podcast.
Yes.
Anyway, but listen, this is, meanwhile, the disastrous health policies he's been promoting are running full steam ahead, endangering vulnerable Americans and people worldwide. It is a striking contrast between really, really serious health needs for Americans and the world. And while that's happening, and he's not thinking about it, he is thinking about picking up snakes. And by the way, I don't know why he was wearing a tie and a dress shirt.
Yeah,
at
And
the beach.
sadly
Sadly
for you, I saved a story for you that I forgot to ask you about last week. The headline being federal hantavirus expert is far-right QAnon election-denying anti-trans penile implant specialist who hosts a podcast called The Erection Connection. Your thoughts?
I'm sorry. Were you looking for a comment?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
you
I
were.
was.
You were.
Yes, I was. Yes.
Honey, what can I say about the erection? What?
Its ratings are up and down. Hey, listen, Doctor.
No comment.
Yeah.
No comment.
Okay. All right. We'll just leave that there. Okay. So, also, obviously, not good news about Ebola. Experts saying this is spreading and it's spreading rapidly. I mean, it reminds you of. And by the way, I just loved what someone said on Threads. They said we're close to a peace deal in Iran as the new COVID will be gone by Easter. We can't help we're having COVID flashbacks to, it's just over there. It's not going to spread over here. We don't need, WHO, etc. Right?
Well, first of all, let's talk about this Ebola situation, which is another epidemic truly out of control. As of last night, there were 1,000 cases identified out of the DRC, out of the Congo and Uganda. And the delay in identifying this outbreak was striking. It was at least a month before people figured out what was happening. Why? In part because of the cuts of USAID support for clinics all over Africa, they weren't able to make the diagnoses promptly, and a lot of people got sick while they were sort of diddling around there trying to figure out what to do and what was going on. And now they're talking about building an American, I guess, infectious disease hospital in Kenya to treat Americans who might have gotten infected. A place Kenya already struggling to provide even basic health care, and now they're expected to put up an intensive care unit for adults with Ebola exposure. It is a disaster that we're in part responsible for.
Can I just say, Sean is nice enough to fill in for us this week. He's in nursing school, so we've totally effed his economy and, housing crisis, housing's affordable, and now he's going to become a nurse just in time for Ebola. So you're welcome, Sean.
Sean, good luck, man. Yeah.
Okay. So
there you go.
You posted critics invoke America First as an argument for abandoning Ukraine, but helping Ukraine is America First. And you wrote a great piece about it, as you do. But, once again, just the things don't matter overseas, right? I mean, it's just so critical.
Well, first of all, they don't matter overseas. But second of all, members of Congress need to understand that what happens over there is, in fact, in our interest. It is America's first interest to make sure that democracy is defended in Europe, which means defending and helping Ukraine evict the Russians from their sovereign territory. But even having to state the obvious about why Ukraine is important to us is distressing. It's depressing that members of Congress are so under the sway of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and the crew there that they can't make independent decisions which are in fact in America's interest. It's terrifying.
Well, yeah, and as you said, this whole America First thing, you said helping Ukraine is America First, weakening a hostile adversary, strengthening democratic alliances, modernizing our understanding of warfare, deterring future aggression, all serve a core American interest, and we are doing so without sending American troops into combat. I mean, it all comes down to him not getting. He just threatened to blow up one of our allies, Oman. I mean, and as you write, Putin's Russia is an avowed adversary of the U.S. and of democratic institutions more broadly. It interferes in democratic elections, weaponizes disinformation, seeks to weaken NATO and the post-World War II order that has helped preserve relative stability in Europe for generations. This is not just Europe's problem. Securing democracy is also vital to America's future. He doesn't care about that. He cares about his own self-interests, and Putin knows that.
Oh, yeah, but he's a sociopath and a greedy grifter, and that's that. We know this about him, and a pedophile, by the way.
Yes.
But what strikes me as
allegedly
amazing, actually, is why do members of Congress, elected by their own constituencies, go along with this? This is what I think is going to be a puzzle that's going to be analyzed, talked about for decades to come. Well, what the hell happened to members of the American Congress?
This is why we have no moral standing anymore, Doc. You say American ex-allies should never tolerate violent territorial conquest by a geopolitical bully. Well, now we're that, in addition to Russia being that. And
maybe that's why we're tolerating it.
Yeah. I mean, what moral grounds do we have to tell China not to invade Taiwan? I mean, it's... So anyway, you just said, Ukrainian military forces have developed innovative battlefield technologies and tactics that many experts now consider to be world leading, from drone warfare and battlefield adaptation to cyber defense, electronic warfare, and decentralized operational agility. Ukraine is redefining modern combat in real time. And guess what, Doc? They're winning. Like, we'll talk to Malcolm Nance about this in a few minutes. For all of this talk about they're going to lose and they need to make concessions and, everything Trump said has been proven wrong, hasn't it?
Right. And, to hear Trump talk about Ukraine needing to make concessions, he means needing to give up their own territory to an invader. I mean, it is an outrageous idea from the get-go. And here we have the President of the United States who's actually mouthing Putin's talking points in order to settle a war which shouldn't have gotten this far in the first place. I mean, pretty amazing.
just this, I was going to say this, whatever this was, cabinet meeting yesterday. He says of Pete Hegseth, he loves war, and everybody laughs. Like, and this is the guy, again, the guy that ran on no new wars, the peace president, right? Call to activism posts. When Trump launches a war with Cuba, next, of course, it will fall apart. Watch Marco Rubio discussing Cuba while Trump falls asleep, barely understanding what's being said. How the hell are they letting him make life and death decisions? I mean, Dr. Reiner on CNN, among others, are finally talking about his obvious physical decline and falling asleep daily on camera, right?
He should be deposed under the 25th Amendment, although, the thought of J.D. Vance taking over the reins here is chilling. Yeah. You think that would be better? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you rather have a sleeping Trump?
And this is not just... and not just Cuba yesterday. He said Oman will behave like everyone else or we'll have to blow them up. The President of the United States just casually says stuff like that. Ben Gvir says Israel will not allow Trump to make a deal with Iran. I mean, we talk about this every week, Doc, but he literally is getting jerked by Putin and Netanyahu, and he just, like their puppet, and does whatever they say.
Yes, and this is a situation, and, we talk about this a lot. Is he a reflection of the United States, of all of us?
Yeah.
Is he actually us? And this is what really troubles me. The man's been elected twice. We don't have a Congress that stands up to him. What is the dynamic behind this that allows this? I mean, his falling asleep, he does that on camera.
Yeah, every day, just about.
Yeah. And so I'm wondering, what is it about the American public that's, at least the majority of them, or some number of them, even though his approval rating is low, they've allowed him to influence elections even now in the primary elections. We've allowed him to get away with murder. And murder, by the way, just let me clarify. I mean, by removing USAID, we're talking about 14 million people potentially dying by 2030. And attacking Iran, we're talking about a lot of people dying. We're allowing this to happen somehow.
Yeah.
And the people that we elected to be the brakes, the members of Congress, what the hell are they doing? That's the question.
This is a picture of our times. It's him sleeping at the cabinet meeting yesterday while Hegseth is saying Iran cried uncle. I mean, everything they say is a lie. We have lost this war. I mean, you have to get like reporting from overseas. Breaking: Iran rejects Trump's new comments. The Strait is going to be open to everybody. U.S. will watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. Saying the Strait remains permanently closed, with Iran retaining full sovereign control over it to preserve its nuclear materials as a guarantee of the other party's compliance in any future agreement. Per a source close to Iran, Trump also threatened to blow up Oman if it doesn't behave. Says he won't lift any sanctions, release Iranian funds, or have a deal without Iran signing the Abraham Accords. All things that aren't going to happen. We are just stuck in the mud here.
And then you say, well, aren't his advisors guiding him in other directions, sort of generally towards the light of sanity and appropriateness?
Oh, please guide him to the light.
Yeah. So who's guiding him to the light? Pete Hegseth?
That's not the light I meant, but okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So we're in a bad place.
Yeah, there are no better angels. All right,
but go Tallarico.
Yes, yay, Senator Tallarico.
Yeah.
We love you, Dr. Doom. All right,
guys.
see you next time. 20 minutes after the hour.
Hi, Stephanie. I'm surprised he didn't wheel out the Marsha Brady excuse. Oh, sorry, Don Jr. Something suddenly came up. That was
I thought you were saying
Marsha Brady.
Got hit in the nose with a football. Something. Okay.
Right.
Tom Brady hit me in the nose with a football.
Was that the same episode?
Ow, my nose.
I think it was the same episode.
I don't know. Okay, we've covered every Brady and Flintstones episode so far in this show. You retweeted if that's the nuclear football, I'm actually fine with Lucy controlling it. You said in this metaphor, the football is the alleged deal, and Charlie Brown is anyone who thinks the deal actually exists.
Someone was concerned that the football was the nuclear football.
Right.
And so they were rooting for Lucy to pull the football away. So I said, no, Let's clarify this metaphor.
We've now covered Peanuts, the Flintstones, and the Brady Bunch by way of
That's
explaining.
Right. Yeah,
Us children
yeah.
of the 70s are explaining everything to the rest of the world.
All of Gen Z has moved on to some other radio show at this point, if they know what radio is. Yeah.
They don't.
They don't. No.
They do not. Yeah. I what do we even say anymore about this ridiculous? And I loved, there was a clip of Jesse Waters trying to explain how this is totally different than what Obama did. Yes, in the sense that it's totally way much worse, right? Like this was their money that he unfroze to get this deal that was working perfectly. They didn't have a nuke.
Yes.
Strait was open, whatever. And now they're trying to explain how, Trump giving them $11 billion more control of the strait and no controls on their nukes is a better deal somehow, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. And if we ever get to some sort of deal, which I'm very dubious about, it's going to be far worse than the JCPOA. It's going to vest so much more power in the Iranian regime. Sure. It's going to leave all kinds of things with loose ends. And this is a Donald Trump deal. I mean, how could we predict anything less than utter failure? And one thing that I want to note about Iran is, in Iran, they have calendars and they have things called the news where they can chart what's going on with the American midterms.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's going to be any sort of serious settlement in this
course.
until after the midterms.
They
arrive.
understand politics here better than he does. I mean, you reposted. It really is remarkable. We're 3 months into this self-induced crisis, and Trump is still manufacturing a positive market reaction with the exact same ploy every single time. It never fails. And you said the entire purpose of his post about the alleged deal is it's obvious market manipulation, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and of course, just after he announced this alleged ceasefire extension on Friday, the Brent crude futures just took a nosedive. I don't know, dropped several points at the very least, and that's the whole idea of it. And then when it looked like it wasn't going to happen, then the Brent crude futures went right up. And by the way, I want to add that Brent crude was my radio name.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Energy crisis.
Yeah. I think you also had Rude Pundit on, didn't you, Brent Crude?
Brent Crude. We were crude and rude in the morning.
Good buddy, everybody.
Yeah, that's right. It's more of like a 90s morning show.
Yeah, a little bit edgier than your typical morning zoo.
Right.
Yeah.
Not 80s.
Right.
More of a 90s edgy. They edged us. Crude and rude edged us every day.
Here we go, losing that Gen Z audience. We have no idea what the olds are talking about now.
What's a morning zoo?
And it goes out over the air? How does that work?
Here's something that'll bring us all together. Sean, there was a piece about how baby boomers need roommates now because of the cost of living. So we're all in this together now.
How's it feel? How's it feel?
Yeah, right? Your oldsters.
You had Craig for a little while there.
I did.
Yes,
the
guy that built the studio.
Yes. He built the studio. I'm like, get out. Yes, here's Senator Murphy on the Iran debacle.
The bottom line is every day this war goes on, we get weaker, they get stronger. So even though this is not a good deal, I'll take it because we need to bring our troops home. We shouldn't lose a single additional American. We've spent so much money on this war. We got to get gas prices down.
Well,
can I just say,
it's not a deal. It's not a real thing. It's just Donald screwing with everybody.
Well, and did you see this? According to CNN, gas prices won't be back below $70 a barrel until 2032. This is what electing a reality TV person did to our economy. Think about that when you're considering who to vote for in the LA mayoral election. I mean, Chris, you say that every day. They keep saying gas prices are going to be down in a second.
They rise like a rocket and they fall like a feather.
Stephanie Miller.
Wow. 25 minutes after the hour, Malcolm Nance coming up at the bottom of the hour. Oh, hey, MJ tweets, the next time I pay $85 for a single bag of groceries, I'm going to loudly say, I sure am glad they're having a UFC tournament on the White House lawn. Me too. Me too. How about those grocery prices, huh? Okay, let's go.
I keep going back to my packet of taco seasonings.
I know.
There's
You
no
were stuck
reason.
on that.
Yes.
What did I say? Oh, tomatoes are up 33%.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Hi, Jim, in New York. Hello.
Hey, I caught your thing about the jungle primary.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say, all that really I think is needed is if you install or modify it with ranked choice voting, and I think that would solve some of this stuff. So we do that in New York City Democratic primaries. We have ranked choice voting, and the reason why they do that is because they have very generous campaign finance matching, so a lot of people run. And it just allows you to rank it. So you could say, okay, I want Becerra 1.
Right.
Okay, if he doesn't win, I want Katie Porter, blah, 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 that
Right.
stuff. And that way you don't have somebody winning with 20% of the vote like a Republican or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And we can confirm some of our choices are indeed rank. Okay. Hey, our friend Noel Kassler.
Oh, yes.
Chiming in on Threads, he said, my friend was groomed by Trump, who began flirting her when she was 12 and taking figure skating lessons at his ice rink in Central Park. Later told me the awful crimes Trump and Epstein perpetrated in his New York City townhouse. Knows how prominent a role Ghislaine played in the operation. So do many other survivors. If the full unredacted Epstein files were to be released, the world would know in an instant that Trump not only abused underage girls, he trafficked them along with his best friend and associate for well over a decade, Jeffrey Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell, of course, knows this, and it's why Todd Blanche visited her in prison, arranged for her cushy transfer and probable commutation of her sentence, if not an outright pardon. They met to get their story straight and protect the boss. I know there's been a lot going on, Chris, but I hope all of that is not lost.
Yeah.
And once again, media, if there's a bigger story than this and all of the things that are, that he's using to try to distract from it, I don't know what it is. Yeah, this Iran debacle is, I don't even know what to say anymore. Oh, by the way, Lindsey Graham also at the Buki event. But just on his own, not at the cabinet meeting.
Yeah.
If he can get Saudi Arabia, the center of Islam for the entire world, to recognize the Jewish state Israel, he will have ended the Arab-Israeli conflict that's been going on for thousands of years. They should change the Nobel Prize to the Trump Prize.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I just had something caught in my teeth. My
Watch out, Lindsay.
My $24 tomatoes.
Yeah, watch out, Lindsay. You're going to swallow accidentally.
Yeah. Okay. Gio says, Trump telling the West Point graduates that nobody wanted to serve under Biden is unintentionally hilarious, considering every single cadet graduating this year joined the academy during the Biden administration. Not one of them started under Trump. But other than that, that's just another day. Another lie.
Yeah.
All right. Malcolm Nance is still in Greenland, but we're
no, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
All right.
Yep.
We'll hopefully hear from him next.
Immigration is one of the most controversial and morally complex subjects in both America and modern Christianity, one that demands both nuance and thoughtful, studious discourse. Historically, the Christian right hasn't been interested in that, but they're divine at reducing things to catchy xenophobic catchphrases. Build the wall. Send them home. Go back where you came from. Deport them all. Keep America American. Stop the invasion. Jobs for Americans, not illegals. No amnesty. The God of the Bible consistently takes an unambiguously compassionate stance towards immigrants and strangers. Jesus commands individuals and nations to welcome the stranger and warns they'll be judged by how well they do it.
Just 969 days left to go in our countdown to liberty. We're, of course, at the Bruce Springsteen concert because he doesn't give a shit about Donnie, but neither does Mary, his niece. Mary, what do you have to say? 969 days left.
That is 969 days too long, but this is what I have to say to you guys. We will not let these people steal our joy. We are going to revel in things like a Bruce Springsteen concert. We're going to revel in friendship and community and art and all of it, and we are going to revel. That's what I have to say.
That's pretty damn good. You know what I have to say? Today, Donald Trump decided that he wants those NDAs because he doesn't want people who work for the government to be responsible for the people they work for. And Don, screw you. We're still going to get the information we need because that's what we do. See you next time.
Peace out, America.
Well, you have probably seen videos or commercials for muddy mats on TV or online and thought, come on, those can't really work that great. I am here to tell you they do. I absolutely love my muddy mats. I've been dealing with paws for dirty, muddy paws my whole life, if you know how many dogs I've had. These are a miracle. Only Muddy Mat has thousands of advanced ultra-soft microfibers that are 5 times more absorbent than ordinary floor mats, trapping dirt and water on the mat instead of all over your floors, and it's 100% machine washable. If you hate dirty floors like I do, trust me, you're going to love your Muddy Mats. Right now, get a free medium Muddy Mat with your order of 2 or more mats at buymuddymat.com. Offer only available at buymuddymat.com. That's B-U-I, muddymat.com. Don't wait. Take my advice and get a free Muddy Mat with your order of 2 or more mats at buymuddymat.com.
Pete Hegseth, who for Trump has been a bigger screw-up than Eric. Around 2 weeks ago, presumably in an effort to please Mar-a-Lago, Pete Hegseth canceled the deployment of 4,000 U.S. troops who were about to leave to be stationed in Poland. Sources say that after he announced plans to pull the troops, he got an angry phone call from Trump, who had to explain that Poland was not the country he was mad at. He was mad at Germany, and he wanted to pull the troops from them. You know, we've all made mistakes, but only Pete Hegseth can make a Donald Trump knows more about Poland than I do caliber mistake. The Poles were angry and confused, which I get, but in fairness to Pete Hegseth, you try telling the difference between Poland and Germany after 16 Coors Lights. It's hard. I mean, Pete Hegseth and Kash Patel, we are literally making drunk history every day.
What a show. All right, this guy is who we need.
We can dance if we want to, if we hope somebody will. Cause Republicans are rude and should be removed and act like they're imbeciles. I say, Malcolm Nance, Trump is under Putin's control.
Yeah.
We can dance while Stephanie dances with the pole. Well, it's the Malcolm Nance.
Yeah, baby.
Malcolm Nance. Well, it's the Malcolm Nance.
Hi, welcome. Hello.
You know, I could have talked to you from 33,000 feet yesterday.
Oh,
okay.
Well,
but I did.
Always wanted to join the Mile High Club with you.
You know, someone on my podcast today said, yeah, you've given a new meaning to the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
I'm like, Wait, there's another meaning?
So you said something terrifying before you went on air this time.
Yeah.
You normally save all your terrifying information for on the air. Because what did he threaten to blow up Cuba and Oman yesterday?
Yeah.
Just
no
casually, as you do. Because you said, there's something he said that could cause another religious war, something.
Holy war.
No.
And you're like, no, it wasn't either of those. What was it?
No. Holy war. Well, first off, Trump didn't just threaten Oman yesterday. He threatened, between him and Lady Lindsey Graham, they threatened literally every country in the Middle East. There were 3 threats given yesterday. One to Oman that we'll just blast them, right? Or whatever it is. Sounding like Danny DeVito. Blow them up. Yeah. And then he gave his butt kissing session with Pete Hegseth and said that if countries don't join the Abraham Accord, which is opening full relations with Israel, exchange of ambassadors, diplomats, economic air routes, that, maybe we won't sign the MOU and maybe we'll do it another way. Pete Hegseth, he points to Hegseth, like with this guy, like the hard way. And I'm like, did you just threaten every Muslim country? Yes, because then Lady Lindsey Graham jumps on television and starts talking about how they essentially owe it to Donald Trump and that they should do it because this will be historic, because this had nothing to do with the Iran war, but Trump's desperate now and he needs to get something out of it. And that otherwise Trump could do something to them, right? Nice Middle East in case something happens.
Yeah.
And here's what he's doing. Let me tell you. There is a proposal that the Israelis and the United States are putting on the table, probably through Mike Huckabee, that Israel takes control of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock Temple in Jerusalem, which is currently under Jordanian custodianship. It's the 3rd holiest temple in Islam. The Prophet Muhammad allegedly went up to heaven off of it. And if this goes through, which is madness, you'll have a holy war across the entire Middle East. The Iranians will be working with the Saudis. This is nuts. Where do these people get off?
Yeah. So let's talk about this debacle. So Iran said it had targeted a U.S. airbase in response to new U.S. military attacks. The ceasefire going very well.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Raising new doubts about a deal to end the war, you think? The exchange drew in Kuwait. The escalation came hours after Trump signaled an agreement between the two sides wasn't close. He said the strait's going to be open to everybody. He just makes proclamations, right? He said... he said Iran is negotiating on fumes. Yeah, sure, that's what it seems like. Trump said at the cabinet meeting, Iran thought they were going to outweight me. Will outweight me. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms, he said. Every Republican's very happy about that. He said they want very much to make a deal. So far, they haven't gotten there. We're not satisfied. What we will be, either that or we'll just have to finish the job. So that is what his 11 billion threat of, I don't know, complete annihilation or whatever.
Well,
yeah.
Help me, Jesus. All of this was supposed to start with this 30 to 60 a day memorandum of understanding, which, breaking news, Barak Ravid from Axios, also known as stenographer to Donald Trump, has just announced that they have tentatively reached an MOU agreement, which I heard a week ago was moments away, as they were saying. 95% complete, right?
Yeah.
But, 95% complete, except for they just couldn't agree on everything. So who knows what's going
except
to go
nothing
on, but
was, yeah.
Trump is doing this. He reminds me of those baby chimps that pound their chests really hard and do the ooh, and then walk up to you and take the banana from your hand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He just wants to demonstrate what their loud noise, and he does it through drone attacks and cruise missile attacks.
I mean, and I love Scott Bessent. The Treasury Secretary said the Iranian military's latest attempt to extort global maritime trade is proof that economic fury has left the regime desperate for cash. No, we handed them the strait. We haven't left them desperate. We've left them stronger than when this started.
Boy, this is bizarro world. I mean, just repeat everything he says and trade Iran with the United States. People, the world economy is teetering on an edge right now. Oil jumped right back up after its market manipulation happened this weekend, where it dropped almost $10. It's back up this morning because there was combat.
Yeah.
The Strait of Hormuz is 20% of the world's liquid natural gas and oil. It is literally like putting your thumb on an artery. And Trump has it in his head that we're making so much money in America, he doesn't care. He's literally killing the economy. And he thinks he's starving Iran. So long as those guys can get tea, dates, pomegranate, and bread, they don't care. They can outweigh us. They've outweighed us 5 centuries.
And by the way, here's the, we laugh about these cabinet meetings and this unbelievable sucking up, but this is the danger. Pentagon pressured to sanitize data about the Iran war. For months, staffers for Hegseth's Pentagon have been under tremendous pressure to produce data and internal reports that match Trump's constant flow of self-serving propaganda about the Iran war. When staff have produced data and analysis seen as too gloomy to the American side, higher-ranking officials in Trump's Department of Defense have told them they need to front-load and emphasize the good news. What is the good news exactly about this debacle?
Yeah, this is the worst kind of intelligence. It's technically not intelligence. Intelligence is where we go and we look out and we give you the bad news that's coming or the effectiveness of what you're doing. These guys are just bomb counting. Bomb counting means nothing. If we win wars on the basis of the bombs we would have dropped, we would technically, Vietnam would be a democratic democracy right now. We dropped 3 times the number of bombs as all of World War II on that little country. Same with Afghanistan. Any idiot can drop bombs. Nothing has changed politically on the ground here, except created a younger, faster, more ruthless leader. The IRGC now controls all branches of government. And we gave them the Strait of Hormuz, which even in the worst fighting of the 1980s never got closed.
And they're lying to us, as we know, on the damage to our bases overseas. And then this one, U.S. military contractors need at least 3 years to replenish stockpiles of 3 key weapon systems used heavily in the Iran war, according to a new analysis, adding to concerns that American forces would have limited firepower in any future conflict with China or anyone else. The weapon systems are Tomahawk cruise missiles, Patriot and THAAD interceptors that defend against incoming missiles and drones. I mean, it is just hard to imagine a bigger, I don't even know what to call this anymore, a geopolitical blunder than this.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the worst decisions in American history. They literally crippled us strategically. We used to have these weapon systems which would be fired with great calculation, but not against a third-rate podunk country like Iran, by a first-rate country like China, where a missile would work its way through its air defense and carry out a strategic strike and knock down an air defense district so aircraft could get back. No, we just shot wild, I always use this analogy, wild drunk monkeys with machine guns shooting in the air. That is how we fired off. We used literally everything in our inventory except an atomic bomb. Everything in the American inventory was fired at Iran.
By the way,
and they're still drinking tea.
A Fox News poll last week showed 64% of Americans believe attacking Iran was the wrong decision, 65% disapproval of his handling of it. And Trump said again, their Navy's gone. As I've said 1,000 times, their Air Force is gone. Everything's gone. They're negotiating on fumes. Well, I guess we're rebombing what they don't have anymore in a war that we already won a month ago, according to him.
Jeez, I mean, if Iran's negotiating on fumes from their shisha, then Trump's negotiating on fumes from his, from his diapers. Because
did you make a little fart joke?
Yes, he did.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that little poo joke.
No, because a fart is instantaneous. This is a solid stream of funkage.
Wow.
Funkage.
These guys are living a fantasy, and they believe that they are these masters of geopolitical, good works. This is, our economy could literally run dry starting 4th of July weekend.
And he's completely delusional. He also said they're starting to give us the things they have to give us. No, they're not. They've made zero concessions. He said if they do, that's great, and if they won't, the man on my left is going to finish them off, as you were saying about Hegseth. And then he was asked if he could offer a time frame when the war would end. Trump said it'll happen quickly. How many? He says that all the time.
It'll happen quickly.
Right. Yes.
I heard that on day one. This thing's officially a quagmire. I don't know if you guys know, we passed 90 days.
Yeah.
We've passed 3 months on this. The Iranians are deliberately slow walking this because, one, they're getting everything they want. It's the Gulf states that he wants to sign the Abraham Accords. They're literally losing trillions every week, every month that this drags on. And they said, the oil analysts say that if this continues on into July, then come September, oil pipelines, tanks, and refineries will be at bottom of tank, which means no matter how much oil we start pumping after it reopens, we're going to go to, you guys will be seeing $10 gas outside of Los Angeles.
Oy. And analysis of this entire debacle. Do you remember, I forgot it was just in May, Trump announced Project Freedom, an effort by U.S. forces to protect ships. Only 2 vessels made it through, and Trump abandoned the initiative the following day. Since then, Trump has veered between talk of negotiating, bombing, and blockading, sometimes all in the same day. The New York Times said he has even suggested more than once that the war is already over. In total, Trump has threatened to restart high-intensity fighting on at least 7 different occasions, but he has backed down every time. And meanwhile, the Iranian regime, seemingly emboldened by all the back and forth, hasn't really budged at the negotiating table. I mean, quagmire is too kind a word for it, isn't it?
Yeah. And I kindly refer to the Iranian strategy as another cup of tea strategy, where all you do is you let Trump rap and then you just go, let's go have another cup of tea. This guy's an idiot.
Before we go, Ukraine appears to be, what's the word I'm looking for, Chris? Winning. They appear to be winning. I was also told otherwise by Trump, but can you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, Ukraine is winning. Ukraine has been winning for years. It's just that it's a little hard to do with one hand tied behind your back and then your bestest ally joins the other side and is trying to sell your home out from under you. But what Ukraine has done is indigenously developed their own mid-range drone, which means now they're not attacking Russian soldiers. Those guys are easy to kill with drones. They're attacking their supply trucks, especially leading to Crimea. The land bridge to Crimea is now officially closed. All of those Russian soldiers in front of the Ukrainian army, they're going to start to starve now because there's no way to get food to you. So we could see by the end of summer a rapid collapse of the Russian line. And here's the best part. Didn't require America or Trump at all. They're not using any of our weapons. We've been giving them nothing. Ukraine is winning this on their own. And I guess they have a lot of cards to play because the U.S. Army now wants those weapons.
Yeah, exactly. Slava Ukraini. All right. Malcolm, we missed you. It's so good to see you again, honey. Talk soon.
All right. See you.
There he goes, our favorite sailor man. Even more than Popeye.
Yeah, and subscribe to his Substack. It's amazing.
He's an amazing writer, as we all know.
Yep.
11 billion bestsellers as of this count.
Yes.
49 minutes after the hour. Mike Levin said not enough people are talking about this. A Florida airport was named after Donald Trump. He walked away with the trademark, the licensing rights, and a deal that lets him profit off every piece of merchandise sold there. And you just said the country exists as an ATM for Trump at this point. Period.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. That was something that they were negotiating. That was one of the holdups in quickly getting an airport named, is that they wanted to protect their trademark. So it wasn't just that it was an honor to have your name on an airport. It was a branding deal.
Yeah.
And a way to make money so that every piece of merch somehow benefits Trump.
Yeah. You also were talking about Terrio on Trump's January 6th compensation slush fund. A lot of these people are going to want to start organizations with this money. Some of them want to run for local office with this money. some of them will use it for their current campaign. And you just said most of them will use it for meth and guns. I mean, literally there is someone getting rearrested every day, and generally on some child sex charge, right?
Yeah. because really, you mean that terrible people attacked cops? Oh no, big surprise there that the people that beat cops and wanted to kill the vice president and members of Congress turned out to be really, really crappy people in general.
By the way, you said the only people who should be getting compensated for the weaponization of government against them are immigrants and citizens rounded up and abused by ICE, CBP, and local police. Steve said Kilmar Abrega Garcia should be first in line to receive compensation from Trump's weaponization slush fund. Next in line, Letitia James and James Comey. I mean, can you? So he just got obviously exonerated. So are they going to go back and correct themselves? Kash Patel and all these people that called him a gangbanging rapist just like a week or so ago?
They're not going to do anything. They're going to sit there and insist that this was an activist judge, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And they're going to use and God, I am so tired of the words lawfare and weaponization.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what's throughout that IRS settlement document is, that like the guy who sued CBS for editing an interview and sues anyone who says anything vaguely controversial about him, except strangely that he had sex with children.
Yeah.
Right. That everyone else is engaged in warfare using the legal system, but not him.
Yep. You also said, that Trump's pissed Jr. wasn't having the wedding at Mar-a-Lago. Got to keep the money in the family or off. That's probably true because he didn't get the wedding fees. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know people were saying, the Bahamas won't allow somebody in if they're,
a sex predator.
Felon.
Right.
Yeah, predator or a felon. And I'm like, yeah, but if the president of the United States wants to go somewhere, they're not going to stop him.
Right. Right. By the way, you were also as pissed, I think, at the what do you call it? All these the CEO interviews. You said Google's CEO saying the reason there's intense backlash to AI is because humans aren't evolved enough to understand it, and you just said alternate take. You.
Yeah.
You're a man of few words, but eloquent.
Yeah. And if humans aren't evolved enough to deal with it, well, then put it on ice until we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't. Nobody wants this, and I love that Uber right now is the Uber CEO said I think yesterday that they're going to back away from AI because they've discovered it's not making them any money.
Yeah.
It's actually providing worse service, and isn't doing everything that they were promised when they started using AI.
By the way, speaking of the interwebbles, thank you for your, you said your choice of social media app is like your choice of sexual position. If it makes you feel good and isn't hurting anyone, then just enjoy it and stop worrying about going back to what you did before.
Yeah. I'm just so tired of the blue sky discussion of, blue sky is just an echo chamber, and in Twitter everyone is still paying attention. Yes, I know there are Nazis, but
Yeah. Blue sky is my Trump cabinet meeting, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah. I get glazed 24/7. I love it.
Yeah,
you do.
So.
Yeah.
Because you don't get glazed from your staff.
Oh God, no.
Exactly. I need glazing somewhere. Rude. Don't say something rude. Okay.
Oh my God, I had so many glazing
I
references.
bet you did.
You're just
my head almost exploded.
You are actually, at the end of the day, the Stephanie Miller Show efficiency expert. You just said Harris lost because she listened to a bunch of white men consultants who don't know about the electorate there. I did your autopsy. All right. We have been issued a correction by Christian.
Yes.
Friend of Christopher Lavoie and
Yes.
of the Stephanie Miller Show.
Yes, indeed.
He said, we are not making ball maxing a thing until breast augmentation is called boob maxing. Stop trying to make ball maxing happen. Sincerely, a very concerned listener who is ball maxed.
He is ball
to
maxed.
the max.
I mean,
if you went to LA Sexy Liberal, he was our ring boy, and wow,
He was.
that man in a Speedo. Hello now.
That's right.
And I'm gay. Okay. Check out Chris Lavoie's Instagram, and the poolside shots sound like a wow, wow, wow. What is going on?
Yes.
Oh, speaking of body image, I just, this is, because I need things to distract me. Someone posted the scene online of, and said, Wonder Woman chasing a car on a skateboard is everything I love about cheesy TV shows. Plus, it's Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. But the cause of every woman my age is self-esteem and body image issue problems. Thank you, Linda Carter, for being unbelievably beautiful. And also, she caught the car on the skateboard.
She did.
As you would imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. And she would always wake up late. Or I remember there was one scene where a building fell on her, and she came out all just hair and makeup perfect, as you do.
That's that Amazonia hair and makeup
Right.
team that she
Yes.
had.
Yes. Exactly. A Trump. Actually, let's skip down to. This is Thom Emmer, Republican of Minnesota.
It's going to be about the economy again, and what Republicans did with Donald Trump's leadership a year ago is causing billions of dollars to be invested in our economy right now. And you're going to see that start to have a real impact towards the end of the summer and early fall.
We will.
And with that, I like our chances in the midterm.
Do you? Okay.
Okay.
Then. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
By the way, he's told that lie. It's been fact-checked 11 billion times that he's brought something trillion in investments here. It's no.
I think what Emmer was saying here, though, was with the big, beautiful bill.
Okay. A Trump cabinet member just looked Americans in the eye and praised Trump for keeping gas prices down. Gas is up 53% since Trump started the Iran war, as anyone knows who's been to the gas station.
Right.
Oh, Trump claims he's making food affordable again. I guess that'll kick in sometime soon, too. Maybe I'm just.
Has he bought a taco seasoning packet lately?
You are stuck on that taco seasoning.
I can't believe how much it is.
JoJo from Jurors next.
What the f*** is going on with Donald Trump's health? Seriously, because Joe Biden blinking too slowly became the goddamn Zapruder film. Books, cable meltdowns, Jake Tapper treating every pause between words like democracy itself had wandered into traffic. Biden coughed weird, and suddenly we were all trapped inside a 6-part prestige docuseries called The Greatest Cover-Up in Human History. And now? Crickets. Just look at Franken News Farter's hands. Bruised, purple, beige makeup packed over them like somebody found something alarming and tried to drywall over it before the cameras showed up. That's not too many handshakes. Bullshit. Unless Donald Trump suddenly produces evidence he's been fist-fighting, farm equipment, high-fiving industrial machinery, or losing an argument with a wood chipper. Stop insulting everybody's intelligence, would you please? Those hands look like somebody filled a plastic glove with KY jelly, left it on the dashboard in August, and then slapped concealer on top and prayed nobody asked any questions. What in the formaldehyde is happening here? The man looks like he's being embalmed from the inside out. Just look at that profile. This man's jawline is the real border crisis at this point. The damn thing looks like it filed for emancipation under the Geneva Conventions, for sake. And the neck? That nasty rash looks like he got to second base with a lonely leech at the Lilith Fair. The cankles, Jesus Christ, the cankles. Looks like he's smuggling a pair of lamb shanks out of a goddamn work Christmas party with a cash bar. And yes, the napping. Public events, ceremonies, important moments. The man is fucking napping. The same people who screamed Sleepy Joe for 4 years now watch Donald Trump look like he's nodding off at events, and suddenly everybody develops cataracts with a press badge. He just had his 3rd yearly physical and promptly proclaimed his perfect health. Please. If he's in perfect health, then Jeffrey Dahmer was just a creative chef and Jim Jones was a misunderstood mixologist. If he's in perfect health, then I'm a natural fucking blonde who never fucking swears. A narcoleptic 80-year-old man with black hands and neck rash and cankles doesn't need 3 annual physicals in the same year if he's in perfect health. So what is it? Dementia? Strokes? Heart failure? Something neurological? What the fuck is going on? Believe me, I don't give a chicken fried fuck whether or not Donald Trump is healthy. I don't. But that melting malevolent moron has the nuclear codes, and too many handshakes is not an answer. Ask the fucking question every goddamn day. What is going on with his health? What the fuck is wrong with him? We don't have to care, but we sure as fuck deserve to know.
Well, you know, I used to think my mattress was just furniture until I got my ghost bed. I laid down on my brand new ghost bed for the first time earlier this week, and I thought, oh, this is what good sleep feels like. Because Ghost Bed doesn't just build mattresses like furniture, they build engineered sleep systems. Their beds are serious health equipment, beds designed for relief and recovery, not looks, not fluff. Your body should be healing while you sleep, not fighting for comfort. I noticed the difference right away. If you're like I used to be, waking up stiff, tossing and turning, sleeping hot maybe, even reaching for a pain reliever before bed, hoping maybe tonight will be different, that's not aging. That could be your mattress talking. And here's another thing I love about the Ghost Bed. You get 101 nights to try it at home. Don't have to do that dumb mattress test in the store. If you don't feel the difference, you can send it back. Risk-free. How about that? GhostBed is offering my audience their lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Stephanie. Use that promo code Stephanie. That is ghostbed.com/Stephanie. Promo code Stephanie.
Think about everything your family would need if something happened to you. Your will, your insurance policies, your passwords, your deed, your passport. Where is all of that right now? Icebox solves that. It's a fireproof, water-resistant, lockable box that comes with 12 color-coded folders, a USB drive for your digital files, and a step-by-step guide created by estate experts and lawyers. Everything in one place, organized and ready when your family needs it most. Go to incaseofemergencies.com/PVN to get yours today. And when you use that link, you're supporting Political Voices Network and helping keep independent progressive media on the air. So go to incaseofemergencies.com/PVN, protect your family, and back up PVN at the same time.
It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
The party, unfortunately, has been essentially a cult of personality for the better part of the last decade. It's certainly more acute today. There is just zero wiggle room. I mean, John Cornyn was a conservative, pro-Trump Republican. Yes, on one or two issues over the last 10 years, he may have believed differently than the president, but the message is simply, if you don't line up with me 100% of the time, 24/7, you have no room in this party.
Thank you, Senator Chris Murphy of the great state of Connecticut. Okay, speaking of great things from back east, JoJo from Jersey is described as mom, Jersey, Dem, news junkie, Lebanese, hothead, geek. Everything we love, all rolled into one human. JoJo from Jersey, Twitter rock stars here.
JoJo shows her sweetie lines way down there in the basement below.
JoJo from Jersey, Twitter and YouTube star.
Love her.
We need JoJo, her insights, her insights.
JoJo from Jersey.
JoJo.
Yeah. I guess we should update with Blue Skies and Threads, but also we don't mind dead naming Twitter, like Elon Musk dead names his trans child, right? So, Twitter. Uh-oh. Can we hear you? Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I cannot hear you.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No.
There it is.
Oh, there you go.
Is that better?
Yes.
That's better. Yes.
Look at you. You have a glowy tan. You look fantastic.
It's fake. I gave myself a concussion tanning, Steph. I did that.
What?
I actually did that.
How do you do that?
How does one do that?
Well, it's not one of my prouder moments. But I wiped the bed, and then I put the paper towel on the floor, and then I went to pick up the paper towel, and I forgot that there was an industrial-sized paper towel holder above my head, and I stood up directly into it and hit the corner of it on my head, and then blacked out, and my knees buckled, and I went to the hospital, and I had a concussion.
That is a spectacular story, and I'm glad you're okay.
Yes, we are.
I thought only I have achieved that level of spasmosity, but no wonder. We are sisters from another mister. Okay. That's right. I'm glad you're okay. All right, so we should cover the, I'm going to say breaking news or maybe non-news. The United States and Iran have reportedly reached a tentative agreement on a 60-day ceasefire framework and the launch of nuclear negotiations. Oh, now we're going to start talking about nukes?
I feel like we've heard this before, though, and nothing came of it.
The proposed deal is still awaiting Trump's final approval. What's your relative confidence in his ability to F this up, as well as
Lucy in the fall every time. Every single time. The deal, or it's not a deal, sound and fury. The strait is open, the strait is closed. I mean, I think all of this is just an endeavor to enrich himself and his spawn. Really, I think that's what it is.
Well, and also, it's to get all the stuff that Obama already got. You just like, oh, I see, the strait would be open again, and they wouldn't have a nuke. And yes, we had that without firing a shot, right?
If anything, Iran's proven to themselves and the rest of the world that you don't need a nuke, because they were able to manipulate the Straits of Hormuz without one. They were able to do it with drones and mines, and so it's like, oh, great job. Now they're like, we don't really need a nuke, do we?
Yeah. I know. I mean, they've honestly humiliated us on the world stage. It's extraordinary. So you also posted a narcoleptic 80-year-old man with black hands, a neck rash, and cankles doesn't need 3 quote-unquote annual physicals in the same year if he is quote-unquote in perfect health. I mean, it's, and I was saying, it's gotten so stupid. Their response to people saying he is falling asleep on camera every day is to post all these videos of, CNN and other anchors with their eyes closed, which clearly they're blinking or they're looking down at their notes. And it's more 8th grade, like, oh, look who's sleepy now, Jake Tapper. It's just dumb.
They want us to be used to this, is really what it is. They want us to become accustomed to the fact that he's going to hold all these cabinet meetings and gaggles in the Oval Office where he's just going to be full-on napping. He's just going to be snoozing through it. It doesn't look like he's blinking. I mean, my God, you have like minutes-long blinks at this point. Like, he looks like he's asleep in REM mode in many cases. Like he doesn't wake up until they say his name.
Right.
Right. He starts awake.
And even then he's like, and then he goes back to sleep. I mean, it's so Bloomberg reporter Jeff Mason was the first to hit. Third-rate loser Jeff Mason cannot seem to keep his eyes open as he speculates about President Trump's perfect health. Not good. Alongside a screenshot of him clearly blinking, right? I mean, it's just, and so then MAGA, because you know all these paid MAGA accounts, being a Twitter rock star, as we called you. You're just a general YouTube and social media rock star now. But so the White House Rapid Response account made these 10 posts featuring reporters accusing them of falling asleep. So then all these paid MAGA accounts picked them up, right, and just started posting their own. I feel like we are never going to get out of 8th grade, don't you?
But the thing is, they can't defend it. What's with him with everything? When they can't defend it, they just point the finger at the other side and mock the other side. And that's just, I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
Yes.
That's really what they do.
It is the Pee Wee Herman strategy, which is what he began his campaign on, right?
You are, but what am I?
You're a nerd.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're an idiot.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
Okay. Once you hit infinity, I know it doesn't. It goes back to the first debate. The no puppet. You're the Putin puppet. It's like, oh my God. So Dana Bash. They featured her, reporting Trump gets annual physical ahead of 80th birthday next month, and they said Dana Bash falls asleep ahead of her 55th birthday next month. What's going on? Bash posted back, if only. Thanks for watching. I mean, I don't know how else you deal with this level of immaturity.
It's like sprinkling Jello. You can't. Like you on one level you have to stoop, as low as they are because this is where the fight is, but at the same time it's idiocracy at this point. It's like, really? Are we really doing this right now?
Yeah. So you wrote about you wrote a great piece, as you do, on Substack. We refuse to reject the evidence of our own eyes. They're rewriting the truth of January 6th. Now these bastards want the U.S. to write the check. I mean, there is a level, Joe, I know we talk about this all the time, but there's a level of anger I've never seen or felt before between what we're paying at the gas pump and for groceries and all of these ridiculous vanity projects, and then literally paying cop beaters. I posted the picture of all of us with like Harry Dunn in D.C. and it just breaks my heart and I know it. Them prosecuting E. Jean Carroll every day brings a new atrocity, right?
And I don't think anything has ever upset me, and this is saying a lot. As much as this $1.8 billion slush fund, that because we know Harry, because we know Sergeant Gannell, because we know so many of those police officers who stood so bravely and defended our democracy that day, that Gannell in particular still carries physical and emotional trauma. I know Harry carries emotional trauma. They should be being rewarded for what they did, as opposed to potentially some of their tax dollars going to the very people who beat them up. Like, it's so egregious. It bothers me on a level that very few things ever have.
Yeah, and despite, him falling asleep at Memorial Day where my mom and dad are buried at Arlington, and, his latest insults to our military. I mean, I swear to God, it's just, I guess the thing that I said this in January 6th, but even our military does not fight the way those Capitol Police had to fight. Hand-to-hand combat for hours and hours. No wonder several of them killed themselves. Like, they were so beyond traumatized, physically and mentally. I mean, we don't even fight wars like that anymore. Hand-to-hand combat like that, right?
The hands of our own, of their fellow citizens at the behest of their president. Like, think about those layers too. What that does to your mind. Because these are your fellow citizens. That was one of the most shocking things for me about that day, trying to explain to my kids who watched it, because they were in virtual school at a friend of mine's, and they said, those are Americans beating up Americans, Mom? How could that be? Like, these are the bad guys, right? Like, are American citizens beating up Capitol Police officers whose job it is to defend our Capitol. Like, all of it is upside down and inside out and on fire, and it's just good versus evil, so red, like black and white. Nothing else could be clearer. And yet we're watching the bad guys rewarding themselves over and over again. And it's hard to make that whole.
And I love that you started your piece with George Orwell from 1984. Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. I mean, they're, scrubbing the website of any press releases about the January 6th convictions, right?
they've pardoned and or commuted the sentences of every single perpetrator, and now they're looking to just erase the record of Stuart Rhodes and Enrico Tarrio's convictions totally, and with prejudice, which means they'll never ever be able to be charged with any of that ever again. People who were sentenced to 20 plus years in prison for the violence of that day all of that will be erased from the record forever. Again, it is Orwellian because we put the person who incited it back inside. The call's coming from inside the house now. I mean, he can rewrite everything, but we're being gaslit at the same time.
Well, and I love how your writing is always so personal, and you just you talk about. You said, I have a friend who survived years of abuse. In the beginning, her husband at least admitted what he had done, briefly, strategically, always with blame braided into the confession. You see what you made me do. Violence acknowledged just long enough to rearrange responsibility. Then little by little, the story changed. The punch became an overreaction. The screaming became stress. The terror became misunderstanding. Conversations she could still hear in perfect, awful detail dissolved into denial. Memories she knew were real blurred at the edges. When she had lived what she had lived through, what she could still feel in her body was calmly, casually denied until certainty began slipping through her fingers. Somebody looked her straight in the face and told her the things she survived never happened. That's what January 6th feels like now. Yeah, I mean, not to mention that it's hours and hours of videotape, and we all saw it, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is what abusers do, right? Like, one of the key components of keeping someone in the web of abuse is making them distrust their own experience, and also making them feel responsible in some way for what is being done to them. That "look what you made me do" thing is a classic, but also like, you're crazy. I mean, my friend was told often that she was insane. That she was losing her mind. Her relatives were called to intervene because she was crazy, because she wasn't experiencing the things that she was experiencing. And when you gaslight anyone that way enough, you do start to question, reality, and that's by design.
And here we go again with E. Jean Carroll, who 2 juries convicted him of raping and defaming. Now the abuser just keeps abusing. So his DOJ isn't. We have Ellie Honig, a CNN legal analyst, but of course his DOJ is going to investigate her now, right?
The definition legally of vindictive prosecution is when a person exercises their constitutional or legal rights and then is prosecuted as payback for that. And if we look at the history here, it's well known. E. Jean Carroll sued Donald Trump successfully, $88 million, and then a couple years later finds herself on the receiving end of currently an investigation, who knows, might become a prosecution. And if you look at this, just the other day, the indictment of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was wrongly deported, that was thrown out for vindictive prosecution because a judge in that case said, well, Mr. Abrego Garcia asserted his rights, and then he was being prosecuted as payback. And I think E. Jean Carroll would have a very similar argument.
Yeah, I mean, but Chris made the point earlier. This is never the point.
Right.
First of all, she's never going to get the $88 million she's owed because
point
Trump
is to
never
bankrupt
pays
her.
anyone. Right, but then now, in addition, it's going to cost her money to fight this ridiculous vindictive prosecution. Right?
They're so disgustingly litigious.
Yeah.
They know that they have an inexhaustible supply of money and lawyers that they can go after anybody. They've also they're trying to relitigate the Wall Street Journal defamation case over the birthday card because they can sue people into oblivion. That's what they do because they're bullies. They don't have to have the truth on their side. They just have to have more lawyers and more money. And it shows the fractures in our judicial system, but it also just shows what a bully and an abuser he is, that he can't just let it go. She beat you not once, but twice. You lost. Get over it.
Right. And by the way, Joe, I'm old enough to remember when this is what they always used to accuse the Democrats of. They're, it's all trial lawyers and frivolous lawsuits. How many times did we hear that over the years? And
what is the weaponization of the government? Like, we're literally doing that.
Right. Yep. All right. Joe's here for the hour.
Yay!
Kermit Flail. 20 minutes after the hour, this portion of you wrote a piece, Mike Johnson following Trump right off a cliff. I mean, they have so beclowned themselves, but this whole piece, you said he's not very good at this Speaker of the House thing. In fact, his real gift as a legislative leader is as a follower, and it appears the moment he's managing to follow his master down the block right over the cliff into the Potomac, and it also appears a substantial faction of his own caucus is prepared to stand on the beach and wave goodbye as he hits the water. I I guess we should just let them, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's
Let 'em
nothing
hang
else
themselves.
we can do. I mean,
Yeah.
until they get swept out of there in the fall. I mean, right now they're tearing themselves apart even in the Senate.
Yeah. He just seems like he turns tail and run, like they just leave town, right? Like he said
Well,
this-
yeah, I mean, but the Senate leaving town was a good thing.
Right. Right.
I mean, it was as close as they've come to resisting.
Right.
The House leaving town is a terrible thing because they did it because they didn't have the votes to, I forget what were they, was the ballroom? I forget, why did they leave?
I don't remember.
I don't.
Oh, the slush fund.
So many days ago. Yeah, the slush fund.
There you
Right.
go.
The decision to shelve the War Powers resolution, you write, came after Republicans had lost control of the floor during an earlier unrelated vote, with several of their members defecting, several more absent, as the House chamber descended into chaos. We played Nancy Pelosi, and I always call her my forever speaker, but oh my God. She, I think, will go down as the best speaker in history, and he has got to be the worst.
Well, you know who caused the chaos on the floor that day? It was my boy Jim McGovern from Worcester.
Oh yeah, that's
Worcester.
right. Worcester.
I just met her.
Worcester.
Yeah, what was that all about? I heard the name, but I was doing something else. I wasn't.
Our listener had a question for Charlie.
She wanted to know if you're going to the Democratic convention in Worcester.
Worcester.
For the Democratic primary, is it? Or
I believe.
No,
for the
probably the Democratic
Democrat
State.
Party of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, I won't be going.
Oh.
Okay. Oh.
She wanted to accost you.
I have a grudge because the Civic Center where they have it,
Yep.
the DCU Center,
Yeah.
it's built on the land where my grandfather's sign shop used to be.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Can I just say I love your last line? This phrase needs to be used more. You said, "I swear these guys could screw up a 2-car funeral if you spotted them the hearse."
I mean, do you know what's going on in Iran? I have no idea.
No, not at all.
It's
Nothing.
insane.
I don't trust either side.
Right.
I mean, I don't trust the Iranians as far as I can throw them either.
Right.
I mean, we're going to celebrate our peace agreement by bombing the hell out of your country,
Right.
like it's a fireworks display.
Right.
And we're going to get the other Arab states to embrace the Abraham Accords, and Bibi's going to help with that by blowing the hell out of Lebanon.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean-
And by the way, that got Lindsey Graham back in line because he
Yeah.
was criticizing the deal, and then he's like, "Oh, it's just brilliant, this Abraham Accords thing." Like, It seems to me we're farther away from any kind of deal.
It's not going to happen.
That's what I mean. We're farther away from a deal
Why
than
why would it happen now?
Right. Exactly. If it hasn't happened in the last 50 years by now.
Right.
Why would it happen now?
Right.
Right.
Right. So Charlie,
You know why? Because Iran's holding all the cards.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
We gave them all the cards.
We handed them all the cards.
Right.
Exactly.
we were just saying how numb we've all gotten to all that. This is the kind of stuff people post. Adam said these gunshots at the White House sound a lot like, "This is why we need the $1 billion in ballroom security funding. Is it really that much of a coincidence this happens right after the funding was pulled?" It's Borica says, "So Trump had to skip his son's wedding because of conflict with a previously scheduled false flag assassination attempt." Miss Farmy said, "So he lost funding the ballroom, and then there's suddenly shots fired outside the White House." Of course there were. And then Jen said, "Imagine having to stage getting shot at every 2 months because most of the world hates your guts." I mean, Charlie, I feel like...
By the way, when did the White House turn into Fort Apache?
No kidding.
Right.
I mean, you can't get within 300 yards of that place.
Yeah. Yeah, and how would a ballroom help what happened this weekend?
Well, supposedly, that's the national security aspect of the ballroom.
Right. That's
which I
what,
find hilarious.
Right. That's what they need the government money for, the taxpayer money for.
Yeah, the bunker.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, to your point about your piece about Mike Johnson, Reggie said MAGA Mike needs to resign for wasting taxpayer monies by always sending Congress away when the votes are against their agendas. MAGA Mike does it again. Congress is about to pass a bill to end the Iran war, and he sent everyone home so the vote couldn't happen. Enjoy the ever higher gas prices. What?
Stephanie Miller.
It is the Stephanie Miller. JoJo from Jersey is here, soldiering on despite her her vicious tanning bed accident. Angela V. Shelton will be here tomorrow for Angela, despite her horrific Pilates injury.
Yeah.
We have very, very bougie injuries here on the Stephanie Miller Show. From our liberal elites.
Yes.
From our coastal elites.
Uh-huh.
I love this.
Pilates.
I love Peter Schenkman's post. Someone said, I saw this and knew instantly what and who he was referring to. He said it's going to feel like a tidal wave when it hits. You won't see an announcement at first. You'll just sense it. First, there's shouting. Horns start blaring. You'll glance up. Not sure what's happening. Something wrong? Are we under threat? Then you'll notice people grinning. You'll hear the cheering build. A total stranger will high-five you. You'll spot a friend and fall into a hug. The tears of release start coming. The screams of pure joy and release. Tick-tock. Whole tick-tock. Okay. We don't even need to say.
Nope.
It's like the Who's in Whoville. Just, you know what? Christmas. Yes, we'll all sing Yahoo Dory. Christmas will come no matter what. All right. So, Joe, it appears that their midterm strategy is just to lie their asses off. Trump claims he's making food affordable again. Okay. Trump has repeatedly boasted he's successfully lowered the price of groceries. And someone at the cabinet meeting said yesterday he's brought the price of gas way down. It is up 53% since he started this Iran debacle. The Hill reported last week, federal inflation data confirms what you may have been feeling already. Groceries are getting more expensive. Unfortunately, things may be about to get a whole lot worse. Economists are warning. CNN poll found 61% of Americans said they've had to cut back on groceries due to price concerns. And he posted this, Trump's making food affordable again. And he just posted a bunch of nonsense that we know is not true because we live in the world.
We go to the grocery store.
We live in the world and eat food.
And it's Orwellian. The thing is, like, you can make people feel like people who were made to feel that the economy was worse under Joe Biden. They didn't have a full grasp of the good things that were happening necessarily. The Democrats weren't that great at messaging on that, but they weren't feeling it because things were still expensive from COVID. And
yeah,
they
you
don't.
froze.
But you can't make people feel the opposite.
Right. And I can't remember what economist said. Joe Biden is handing over the strongest economy in the world, the strongest post-COVID economy in the world. And here we are. Yep. All right, 29 minutes after the hour, more JoJo from Jers.
What the is going on with Donald Trump's health? Seriously, because Joe Biden blinking too slowly became the goddamn Zapruder film. Books, cable meltdowns, Jake Tapper treating every pause between words like democracy itself had wandered into traffic. Biden coughed weird, and suddenly we were all trapped inside a 6-part prestige docuseries called The Greatest Cover-Up in Human History. And now, crickets. Just look at Franken News Farter's hands. Bruised, purple, beige makeup packed over them like somebody found something alarming and tried to drywall over it before the cameras showed up. That's not too many handshakes. Bullshit. Unless Donald Trump suddenly produces evidence he's been fist-fighting, farm equipment, high-fiving industrial machinery, or losing an argument with a wood chipper. Stop insulting everybody's intelligence, would you please? Those hands look like somebody filled a plastic glove with KY jelly, left it on the dashboard in August, and then slapped concealer on top and prayed nobody asked any questions. What in the formaldehyde is happening here? The man looks like he's being embalmed from the inside out. Just look at that profile. This man's jawline is the real border crisis at this point. The damn thing looks like it filed for emancipation under the Geneva Conventions, for sake. And the neck? That nasty rash looks like he got to second base with a lonely leech at the Lilith Fair. The cankles, Jesus Christ, the cankles. Looks like he's smuggling a pair of lamb shanks out of a goddamn work Christmas party with a cash bar. And yes, the napping. Public events, ceremonies, important moments. The man is fucking napping. The same people who screamed Sleepy Joe for 4 years now watch Donald Trump look like he's nodding off at events, and suddenly everybody develops cataracts with a press badge. He just had his 3rd yearly physical and promptly proclaimed his perfect health. Please. If he's in perfect health, then Jeffrey Dahmer was just a creative chef and Jim Jones was a misunderstood mixologist. If he's in perfect health, that I'm a natural fucking blonde who never fucking swears. A narcoleptic 80-year-old man with black hands and neck rash and cankles doesn't need 3 annual physicals in the same year if he's in perfect health. So what is it? Dementia? Strokes? Heart failure? Something neurological? What the fuck is going on? Believe me, I don't give a chicken fried fuck whether or not Donald Trump is healthy. I don't. But that melting malevolent moron has the nuclear codes, and too many handshakes is not an answer. Ask the fucking question every goddamn day. What is going on with his health? What the fuck is wrong with him? We don't have to care, but we sure as fuck deserve to know.
Out, ICE has to go out there, remove the barricade, and then you have one of the senators complain because he got splattered with a pepper ball. I'm sorry, you probably shouldn't have been there.
Oh, for God's sakes. That's Mark Wayne. Ricky Bobby Mullen. Really? What? The senator had every right to be there. This is your...
He has oversight.
Yeah, this is Senator Andy Kim had every right to be in your... yeah, right? And also your governor. They wouldn't let the governor in this detention center. Tell me they're not hiding, atrocities.
You see here, just refusing to let, like you said, the senator, Andy Kim, who, by the way, is incredible and my hero, and I love, and you should have him on your show. He's amazing. If you haven't had him on your show, he's incredible. Yeah. And my governor is amazing. It is his job. Oversight is his job of facilities like that. But they're hiding, and they won't let anybody in because they know what is happening behind those closed doors and closed gates.
And what do you mean a United States senator shouldn't have been there? He was trying to defuse the situation. If you saw him, he was like, stop. He was between the protesters and they pepper sprayed him. I mean, this is what fascism looks like, right?
Yeah, and these are the worst people on the planet. These are the most depraved reprobates of all time. Because Mark Wayne Mullen went on to say they're having a hunger strike because they couldn't get their ethnic food. And then he said, this isn't a Holiday Inn. What happens at a Holiday Inn? I mean, I don't remember going to the Holiday Inn for a vindaloo and some pad thai.
Right.
Like, what is he talking about? He's such an idiot. My God, what happens on the Oklahoma Panhandle anyway?
Also Mark Wayne... Ricky Bobby Mullen said Colby Carrington.
Yeah.
Ricky Bobby Mullen said his department is drawing up plans to prevent inbound international flights landing in what he called sanctuary cities. Yep. Oh, God. He appeared on Hannity. Of course he did. He provided no evidence for his claim that an enormous number of terrorists have been apprehended. He was saying that tens of thousands of gang members they just say stuff.
No evidence.
Right. He then explained DHS has been floating the idea of preventing international flights from arriving in certain cities, especially Newark, New Jersey. There you are again, in Jersey.
Or Los Angeles.
Right. I mean, I swear to God, they're just like, it's like fascism 101 every day, right?
I mean, just think how well that's going to go. They're diverting traffic from major airport hubs across the country. I mean, where are these planes going to go? Where are they going to land? You know, it's already hard enough to get on a flight that's not hours delayed if you even get to take off that day.
Yeah.
Like they're going to find one way or another to tank the economy and like the infrastructure of this entire country.
Yeah. By the way, our friend Mike Nellis said building this UFC stage in front of the White House is one of the most ridiculous tone-deaf things I've ever seen any politician do. It is like the white trash house now. It is just, and all at taxpayer expense, all these vanity projects, right?
And my question is, by the way, it's beginning to look like Mojo Dojo. Like, honestly, it's like there's
Ends Mojo Dojo.
Casa House.
Casa House.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Right, but how exactly does he need a ballroom that is drone-proof because he can't go anywhere safely, and yet we're going to have an open-air UFC fight that the public can attend?
Right.
On the White House property.
Lawn,
How
yes.
is that? How do those two things jive?
They
exactly?
don't. And I know it's hard to keep up with all of it, but Keith Boykin posted a National Park Service analysis found the contractor given a no-bid contract to repair the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool is being paid an inflated and excessive profit margin, according to documents obtained by the New York Times. The huge profit margin reportedly adds at least $850,000 to the cost of the contract. The government eventually agreed to pay the firm $13.1 million, or 7 times what Trump said it would cost. Not to mention they're doing a crappy job, and it's not supposed to be a swimming pool. It's just, I feel like another thing we have to undo.
God, yeah, we have to undo it all, unpaint it, paint it over, and tear things down. But by the way, Mark Wayne, Ricky Bobby Mullen
Yes.
also has his fingerprints all over that, because the company that got the job is connected to Oklahoma, but they've never painted any pools before, because it wasn't the original guy that Trump said it was that painted the pools in Mar-a-Lago and elsewhere. It's some
God.
brand new company that has ties to Oklahoma,
Oh,
which
my
is
God.
awfully strange, because Mark Wayne Mullen was also there the day they did the joyride over the reflecting pool, which wasn't designed to be joy-ridden over,
Right.
much like Donald Trump.
Right. So the what's coming up, Chris? The Freedom 250 concert on the National Mall. Speaking of atrocities happening on the
and they're dropping like flies.
Yes, artists backing out.
Yeah.
Rapper Young MC, who's really not young anymore.
Not
but
anymore.
still,
Yeah.
became the second artist to publicly back out of the government-sponsored festival taking place on the National Lawn in D.C.
Morris Day in the Times said, "Oh hell no."
Oh, hell to the no.
Yeah.
They still have Vanilla Ice, so that's exciting. I love, somebody put a footnote. Kamala would have gotten Beyonce. Also, one of the Milli Vanilli guys died 30 years ago. Okay.
Oh yeah, so it's just a Vanilli.
Yes, there's I guess just a Milli. Yeah. Yeah, just a Milli or
one of the two.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the CNC Music Factory. This is a little confusing. This is my era from, hot 97 in the morning, everybody in New York City. Good morning.
Didn't you interview like the model that they used in the video that wasn't exactly Martha Wash?
Yes, right. She didn't speak English.
Right.
She was the Italian supermodel they used in the video, and they put her on my show for an interview, and she didn't speak. Yeah, that was a tough sled. Okay. CNC Music.
Melania?
Yes, you were interviewing Melania.
Do we have Here We Go? I actually love their music, but CNC Factory frontman Freedom Williams posted a fired-up, profanity-laced 8-minute message in which he initially said he planned to back out of the show after learning of the Trump involvement. Then Williams backtracked and said CNC Music Factory might well go ahead with the gig after all, to show he was impervious to the backlash and could not be told what to do by angry commentators. So here we go, or not, or maybe.
Play that beat. Play that beat. Maybe.
Maybe. So we don't know.
Right.
Bam. Bang. Yeah. Go. Here we go. You want this party started, right, JoJo? You want this party started quickly. Okay. All right. Speaking of parties, hey, Texas, what's going on? Handicapper shifts Texas Senate race toward Tallarico. You've seen the polling, right? The Cook Political Report shifted its rating from likely Republican to lean Republican after Paxton defeated Cornyn. The polling we've seen has two of them, right? Has Tallarico ahead.
Yep.
So, and you could tell from the desperation and the ridiculousness of their attacks against him that they are panicked, right?
They are 100% terrified of Tallarico. First of all, Paxton, to say that he's a flawed candidate, he was impeached by his own party. And by the way, I need the Democrats to get on the nickname bus because Tallarico is stupid. But why don't you just call him Ken Pedo Protector Paxton? Because that's what he is. And you need to put that front and center. You need to shackle that to him and to that party because for some strange reason they have it in their heads that being a vegan is a red line, but a pedophile is not. Come on.
Right.
Let's go.
Well, yeah, and he's not a vegan, as if that's important.
He's not a vegan.
But, okay. But yeah, the National Republican Senatorial Committee has removed content highly critical of Ken Paxton, so they've had to erase their own attacks against him. Like, I mean, it's so. And Paxton's wife, I always love this juicy story.
Oh yeah.
Texas State Senator Angela Paxton filed for divorce last year, citing biblical grounds. We all know what that means. Okay, and recent discoveries. So all of that appears to have been scrubbed now from the website. They can't scrub, and people in Texas know, right? I mean, it's although I guess it's just the party of Trump, and they don't care that they're the party of corrupt, crooks, impeached crooks, pedophile protectors.
Yeah, I think that core base doesn't care. I think a lot of the, MAGA Republicans don't care. Sadly, there are no red lines for them anymore. But I think the electorate in Texas writ large actually does care about character. And he's a deeply, deeply unpopular guy. He's just extremely unlikable. And for the fact that that guy and Ted Cruz and Elon Musk are calling somebody else's masculinity into question is just literally hilarious.
A doughy load. He's shaped like a shmoo. Okay, yeah, I mean, Trump is, as usual. Congratulations, Ken Paxton and his opponent, Alfred E. Newman. Maybe the worst Texas candidate I've ever seen. Strong open borders, weak on crime, believes there's 6 genders, insulting to Jesus Christ. Oh, I see. As a pastor, he's insulting to Okay. A big mask wearer, a vegan. Yeah. Okay, he's not a vegan. Oh, Jasmine. Oh, and he also got in his usual racist slur. Jasmine Crockett, a very low IQ individual, is no relation to the frontiersman Davy Crockett. Everyone knows she's no relation. Would have been a far better choice for the Democrats. I'll do some nice, big, beautiful rallies for Ken. This will be fun. The whole Tallarico, By the way, RNC and the official X account implied that he is a pedophile, writing "hide your kids" among one of the Tallarico's photos. The post came days after the same RNC account implied that he's gay. Oh, that President Obama is secretly gay. Okay, I was saying to Chris, like, this is what their whole thing, that other, that's what they ran on, is, they're we're you, they're the other. How do you other a straight white male Christian, pastor, right?
And it's hilarious to me. It's like these very, benign, anemic white guys are like, look at this guy. He's so anemic and benign and, like you said, and doughy and white. It's like, do you have a mirror? Stephen Miller mocking somebody like for their looks. I mean, Stephen sleeps in a coffin lined with ICE detention center blankets. Miller.
Oh, I didn't know that. I assumed he's hung up side down from the ceiling. But okay, thank you for that confirmation.
I now call him Baltimore. Baltimore.
I go with Pee Wee German, but either way, it's good.
Either that or Nosferatu, like NAZ.
Yes.
Baby Goebbels.
Nosferatu. I like that one.
Yeah, he's calling into question his masculinity. Stephen Miller.
Yeah. So here's the other thing. GOP in money panic after Paxton win. I mean, that's the very good news, right? Republicans bracing for a Texas-sized cash drain after Paxton's win. They fear their already record-breaking Senate primary will become an even more costly general election campaign, one that siphons party resources from key battlegrounds. Yay! Some of them estimate the race could force the party to spend as much as $150 million for Paxton in a state that Republicans never expected to be truly competitive. That's why it's good news all around, right?
It is. It's good news all around because there are some really flippable seats here in Maine, even in Florida. Don't sleep on Florida.
As I mentioned earlier, Graham Plattner is ahead and has developed a Blue Oyster Cult. I'm just going to try it again. I'm going to try that joke again. I got a sign off from.
It's pretty good.
Sean, all right.
No. Needs a little more cowbell, but
yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
More cowbell. Yeah.
Let's move on. So James Tallarico admitted to some regret over past cringy comments after being pressed over his declaration that God is non-binary. This is such ridiculous BS anyway. Like, who knows what God is? Like, that doesn't even actually seem that controversial to me. You know, I mean,
yeah, grasping at straws. This is the thing. Like, it's not. Look at Ken Paxton again, somebody who's been, charged with crimes, somebody whose wife publicly put out a statement about his character. I mean,
right. I mean, we're
about?
just such minutia based on the biggest lie that he's a vegan, which he's not, which, as you said, shouldn't matter anyway. But so he said, I think I was being intentionally provocative with a statement that what it means about what it means is that God can't be defined by human categories. I mean, that's true, right? Except, I don't know, maybe in Texas, except, it's a white guy. Like, who can say? So he said before going on to promise to stand up for Texans who are being picked on by the most powerful, most corrupt politicians in the country. So he was asked, you call it intentionally provocative, you regret describing it that way or talking about God that way. And he said, there are some statements I've made I certainly regret. There are statements that I've made where I've missed the mark. I'll be the first to admit that. But Ken Paxton is intentionally clipping my cringy comments to distract from his career of corruption. It just seems like they are so desperate at this point.
You're going to, grasping at straws in terms of somebody's choice of words when your candidate is the kind of person who let a serial child rapist out after 60 days in jail. I think that, again, I think the Democrats need to hammer the Republicans and Paxton on the things that he's done. Not some,
by the way,
words that they've said.
Yeah, raping a 6-year-old boy. I mean,
right.
So just real quick, this comment they keep. Tallarico had said modern science acknowledges 6 biological variations based on chromosomes. I mean, that is actually true, and it's just science. And they said, and then he was asked, do you believe there are 6 biological sexes? He said, I know there are 2 sexes, men and women. I also know there's a very small percentage of people who have these chromosomal abnormalities, and I believe they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. I happen to know people like that. I'm like, just acknowledging something exists is some sort of scandal?
Well, again, everything about them sort of is predicated on all of these lies and falsehoods and manufactured realities. Just look at their hero. He paints himself orange, and they're like, oh, he's tan. He's got makeup on his hands, and oh, he's healthy. He takes cognitive tests, and they're like, oh, look how smart he is. I mean, everything is predicated on lies.
Yeah. Yep. Not 49 minutes after the hour. One more segment with our beloved.
That's right.
This portion of. So you summed it up, the Iran deal. New York Times reporting a proposed Trump-backed memo with Iran would reportedly release $25 billion in frozen Iranian assets. I seem to recall something about that. Something when the black guy did that. It was something worth still about time.
Like $1.5 billion or something. Pallets
of their money.
cash.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just said, so we're giving Iran a ton of cash and punting on nuclear weapons, just a complete humiliation of a bunch of stupid maniacs by a bunch of smarter maniacs. We got outplayed at every, and still I don't know how this ends. We're bombing again, right?
Yeah, because, what else are we going to do? What are we, it's not like, it seems like they get to a point where there's almost a deal, and then Trump says something stupid that ends up just tossing the deal in the trash.
Yeah.
And then Iran comes back and says, no, there was never a deal. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm just watching 2 complete insane people negotiate with each other. One of which has control of one of the most important waterways in the world.
Right. Yeah, it is just like watching the same cycle over and over again. So, what else is going on? Yes. Oh, do we have this one? You were just for over the weekend. How are you explaining to your constituents this new settlement that prevents the IRS from auditing any Trump family documents? Representative Mike Lawler said, well, when I think it comes to any agreement the president has made with the IRS, I think looking back at Biden.
Oh, my God.
You just said, to update an old quote, when Republicans speak, it's a noun, a verb, and Biden.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Which was something Biden actually coined, was Giuliani. As a noun, a verb, and 9/11.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it is like Chris and I were just saying, it's just so, especially on a long weekend, it's so hard to just not be numb by all of the stuff that happens on a daily basis, let alone over 3 days. But you wrote about the IRS, just that part of it, him never being able to be, audited or prosecuted by the IRS. And you just said you may have heard about ball maxing and been shocked by it, as in, you mean there's a thing where men inject fluid into their nutsack to make it look huge? Yes, I'm aware. Because of the company I keep.
Well, Bella was aware of looks maxing.
Yeah, she was.
But you just said so much of what is done by Trump, who answers the question, what if an overgrown Oompa Loompa, but on bath salts, enrages me, but it's not breaking my brain, because mostly I think, of course, it's Donald Trump. What did you expect? But you said this IRS thing is bomb-balling you.
So, do you want me to explain? I hope I created bomb balling. So you see, the thing about the ball, Max. The thing about the ball maxing, the analogy I was, so cleverly making, was that I had written about scrotal infusion back in 2009.
Of course you did.
As a way to talk about which was the same thing as they're calling it ball maxing.
Oh.
And it's like, so everybody's like, oh my God, ball maxing. And I'm like, please, please.
Yes.
We were scrotal infusing before you kids were even born.
Sean's like, God, I missed this show.
And so I was saying that, like, so it doesn't shock me, because we've been through, you go through so much. But I was like, what if say somebody came up with something called bomb balling, where they put small explosives in their scrotums, so that when they had sex, it would actually trigger one and create a stronger orgasm. And I was saying that would shock me.
Wow.
And so the IRS deal is the bomb balling.
Yes. Yes. Well, Steve Schmidt wrote a piece like this, too, just about what we're all numb. That's the biggest danger, what we're all numb to at this point. What we're just, we've normalized, we're just kind of collectively overwhelmed. But yeah, you just said, so they can't be prosecuted by the IRS forever. That's telling the law to go itself sideways with a chainsaw. That's taking the Constitution, wiping your ass with it, and using it to set a pile of American flags on fire so you can cook some bald eagles. It literally is everything he does now is just you. Right?
Yeah, and F America. F America is what it is. And there is only one way you can see America, and that is through him, and that America is him and only him. And that's why any candidate that he supports has to be somebody who 100% supports every single thing he does and tells them what. The New York Times just did a study that 1 out of every 6 things a cabinet member says in a meeting is a praise of Trump.
JoJo from Jersey is here. The wildly popular Siren Network. is
Yes.
where she gave birth to it. Was it a hard delivery? It's doing fantastic.
From my womb, yes, yeah. You know, it's getting a little uppity. It's a toddler now. We're about seven months old. So, no, it's going great. We're growing, and I'm so proud of it.
The baby.
And,
And we're proud of you.
We're so proud of you.
Yes.
I just want
Thank
to
you.
grab you, smoosh you. Okay. Governor Gavin Newsom pledged to seek 100% tax on any money Californians receive from Trump's slush fund.
There you go.
Yay. And then looks
Amen.
your state, Jersey and New York, are also looking into the same legislation. I always say, Joe, all of the above and how we fight this fascism and this corruption, right?
Absolutely, 100%. And they should take the tax money that they get, and they should give it to the Epstein survivors and to the Capitol police officers. That's what they should do with it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take it, give it to those disgusting terrorists, then tax them on it, and then give it to the people who deserve it.
Yep. Here we go again. DOJ seeks to interview 2020 Georgia election workers. Oh my God, he will just never let this go. They want to interview some poll workers and ballot counters who participated in the 2020 election in Fulton County in a new effort to dig up details about the ballot processing. I mean, yeah, he lives in the past, but it's also they're obviously looking for trial runs to how to F with the midterms, right?
100%. I mean, and we have to understand this. He said yesterday he doesn't care about the midterms, and it scares me that he says stuff like that because he will stop at nothing. They've already tried to seize the Dominion voting machines. They will stop at nothing to make sure that the Republicans don't lose power because it's existential for him, and he knows that.
Yeah, I love the stuff he blurts out loud, right? And you can hear every Republican sphincter just snap shut. Just, I don't care about the midterms. But he
That's a
doesn't.
bad day for Lindsey Graham.
Don't know what that meant, but I'm just going to move. I'm going to move breezily on. JoJo from Jersey on all of the socials. Support her,
YouTube and everything else,
and the Siren Network and all the wonderful things she does. We love you so much.
Love you guys. Thank you.